What's up, guys? It's Cooper Webb, and you're listening to the MotoXpod.
Hey guys, what's up? This is Aaron Plessinger, and you guys are listening to the MotoXpod.
Save me from myself. My arms and legs are bound like an aging corpse from another world. I'll scream the truth 6 feet underground. Feel alive inside yourself. Watch your enemies dispel. If I can find a way to avoid this fate, I'll be your story.
Well, it's that time of the week again for another MotoXpod presented by Yamaha Motor USA and Race Tech. Bunch of stuff to talk about tonight. We're got SMX kicking off, the SMX playoffs kicking off in Concord, North Carolina in just a few days. So yeah, I think we got a few topics we'll cover, a couple great guests coming up, including Monster Energy, Yamaha Star Racing's Eli Tomac, and former pro motocross supercross rider, 2012 Horizon Award winner, and an accomplished off-road rider, Zach Bell. Guys, I'm sure you guys remember Zach Bell. Pretty infamous crash in Arlington, I'm sure we'll talk about. But yeah, we're going to have a fun night tonight. Fun guest, MotoXpod.com. Get involved with the stories going up. There's a few news stories up there and race results, all that good stuff. Hit us up with hidden gems if you've got a local track or riding spot that you think is really cool you want to share. There is a form you can fill out on MotoXpod.com, and we'll highlight your local riding spot. But like I said, this is the Yamaha Motors USA Race Tech MotoXpod in studio. As always, we never know for sure if he's going to show up, but he always does. Scott Thompson.
So doesn't that tell you that I'll be here? That I'll always be here?
No, man. No, man.
Consistency
You
doesn't
got to
mean
respond
anything?
to those texts for us to know for sure.
Okay. But yeah,
Awesome.
I'm here.
Yeah, you're here. How's the chat so far? We loaded?
Yeah,
We got some people excited about Eli?
Yeah, playoffs. We're talking about the playoffs.
We are. Yeah. We're going to talk about playoffs. We're going to talk about MXDN, World Supercross. But first, also in studio, surprise visit. We didn't think he was going to be in this week. Speaking of, you're not next week, correct?
Yeah, I'm going on vacation.
That'd be interesting. We got to see if Chase can make it, because the other guy in studio tonight, TJ Smith, will not be here next week.
I haven't seen any of the paperwork requesting time off for the show, so I mean,
you don't check your text messages then.
I've never seen the paperwork for you, and you miss all the time.
yeah, that's true.
Cool. All right.
I have no argument for that.
Right?
I only make it at half the time at best.
At Yamaha Motor USA, we don't just build motorcycles, we engineer legends. From championship podiums to off-road trails, the YZ platform has defined dirt bike excellence for generations. Whether it's the raw two-stroke power of the YZ250, the precision of the YZ250F, or the dominance of the YZ450F, every YZ is built for riders who push harder, ride faster, and demand the best. So, unleash victory, ride Yamaha. Proven performance, race-ready reliability, Yamaha YZ, born to win. Check them out at YamahaMotorsports.com. Also, Race Tech has their seminars coming up. Go to racetech.com. If you've ever wanted to learn more about working on suspension or your engines, they have engine seminars. They're really, really in-depth seminars, and they teach you all the knowledge you need. So please, racetech.com if you've got interest in that. It's really cool. Race Tech and Yamaha on board. This is the Yamaha Motor USA opening chat. All right, as I said, Charlotte kicking off this weekend, Concord, however you want to call it. First round one of the SMX playoffs. Are we excited?
Yeah.
Yay.
Wow.
No, yeah, I am. I'm pumped. I'm pumped for the playoffs.
I mean, Prado's going to win everything, so I mean, what does it matter?
I don't even think, is he even doing them?
Who?
Prado?
Yeah.
No, I know.
It was making
Okay.
a joke.
Okay. Because he's not doing MXDN, and that's one of our news
Yeah.
spots if you want to put that up. But let's talk about Charlotte, Concord, whatever right now. And I want to touch on one. I'm going to ask you guys what you're most excited about. But I was looking at the track map, and I think we have it. If you have it to play there, I don't know for sure. I believe I put it on there. It's at the bottom because I didn't tell you that. They kind of look like the old moguls from Mickey Thompson, like the offset whoops that are not the same height. They're but I thought they were moguls. And listening to the Vital MX post-race show with Lewis Phillips and Michael Lindsay, Lewis pointed out they're actually jumps that are offset and not even.
That's
so that's kind of unusual.
They've done that before, I think, where it was like it was high. This one was high on the outside and goes down to nothing.
That's what they do.
Oh yeah, they've done that before.
I think they've done that at Charlotte.
Well, they have done it and raced it in Supercross before.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Or maybe it was maybe it was SMX. I just remember seeing that before. I thought it was Daytona.
Okay, maybe you're right. That would be a spot that would. Anyway, you're trying to say something.
It looks like they also like go over the starting gates too.
No, I think it's kind of confusing. I think coming back from the end, it looks like it hangs a left, like it kind of 45 chicanes. There's like a little jump there, I believe. It's kind of hard to tell from the map.
Yeah.
Right before the gates, it looks like they hang a left and kind of go over.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Maybe so.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell, but I like that they are doing something a little different. I don't know how, it's probably not going to be like, oh, what are they going to do on that section? It's going to be, they're going to figure it out. It's going to be easy. But it's something different, man. And we're kind of back to super crossy stuff. So I'm excited for this. Like I wasn't 2 weeks ago, but I am now. And I mean, Cooper Webb's back. Ken Roxon's back.
Why weren't you excited about it 2 weeks ago?
I don't know, man. I think I was just like, it's just, we're tired, man. It's a long season. I'm wore out.
Yeah, since you win all the races and everything.
Yeah, man. I'm burnt out.
Yeah.
No, but I am excited. I'm getting really ready for this, and I like looking at the track map. I'm like, all right, let's do this.
Yep.
I would like to say that them putting the break right here, it does give you like a week off, and then you're doing something like, oh yeah, we got something new. It's almost better than them just plowing on into like how. I mean, it wasn't a huge break, but you know what I'm talking about. You take a
one
short
weekend,
break,
yeah, sure.
But still, I think a 2-week break would maybe even be better. But just to build up to give it its separation, because they give 2 weeks for Supercross to Motocross, don't they?
No, 1 weekend.
Is it just 1 weekend?
1 weekend.
Okay.
It's 2 weeks, 1 weekend.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah. Okay. So what are you most excited about? I kind of already said mine in my little thing there. It's just Ken back, Cooper Webb back, most of the guys being back. Our guy Chase, our buddy Chase, just texted us, and he saw that Mikkel Harup's not going to make SMX, which I hadn't heard that, so I don't know if that just went up. I don't know. No. I didn't see the post. I haven't really heard. I probably should have asked Lewis when I talked to him earlier today, because I'm sure he knows.
That's a bummer.
My guess would be maybe he is injured, maybe he just felt like he wasn't ready. I don't know. Maybe Lewis will text us if he's listening, but the point is, we love Mikkel. I do. I'm a big fan, and he's not going to be there. But the other guys, Kenny being back, like wait for the FXR picks tonight. Could be one of those guys might be in my picks. Right. Cooper, Kenny, but I'm just most excited that a little bit of a series shift kind of freshens it up. Some of the guys are back. Yeah, I'm ready. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what Chase and Hunter have for Jet. I mean, in Tomac too. We can ask him tonight. But I think that the SMX, like obviously Jet's the favorite and more than likely will win it. But I think that
he's not my favorite.
I think that these playoff, the way these races are and the way these tracks are, kind of evens the playing field a little bit, and it makes for some good racing for what we've seen in the past. Mm-hmm. So I'm hyped to see tight racing again.
I would like to see. I want to see what Prado can do in a not full Supercross.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
But I'm kind of curious. Also, the announcement came out that he will not be lining up for Team Spain.
Yeah.
At MXDN, which is a kind of a shock.
Really,
considering his capabilities of what for Team Spain, he's kind of the main guy.
Yeah.
Right.
That's shocking.
But then with all the stuff going on with Kawasaki, maybe it's not such a shock. But how much of that stuff with the social media comments that he's made, other people within the team have made, like how does that affect these next 3 rounds where he's racing out of that rig under that tent with some of those guys that, like he put a post up that said, I didn't mean it the way you took it. What? I don't know, man. The things he said aren't boding well. That's probably not the right term with the rest of the guys on the team. So like, how do these next 3 races
not well
feel under that tent? Not well. How does he do, but like just
not well.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
There's no way it can. It's irreparable damage.
I think so.
I think the fact that if all the rumors are true about him leaving, I think that because they'll know for real.
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
And they're just not going to give a crap. Like they're not going to do the extra. They're not going to run to grab this part when they can just walk
right.
to grab it.
Well, and then we didn't have a show last week, so never really got to touch on this. But like it's pretty obvious that he tried not to qualify for Butts Creek. So it's like once you show that kind of giving up to a team,
you
like,
think that's what it was? You think he purposely?
I think so.
Yeah.
Y'all do?
Yeah. I think so.
Oh wow.
Look,
I
I'm
haven't heard
not
that.
as in the industry as Steve or Lewis or whatever, and both Steve for sure is like, I'm 100%. And
That he purposely tried not to.
I'll tell you how much they believe it. JT and Steve actually agreed on that.
Yeah,
So and they don't ever agree on anything. So
and I've seen it in group text from people. Well, from people within the team who are like,
wow.
Yeah, he wanted to just be It was on purpose, and then they're like, "No, buddy, you still got to line
I don't
up."
think he knew about the provisional.
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't. Yeah, so
He
he
didn't
didn't
know.
know.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Like Steve has said, like kind of tongue in cheek, like he probably had a flight out already. He was like, I'm gonna purposely not qualify and leave, and then he had to race. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but I think it's the common belief that he tried to not qualify on purpose.
Can we stick to this subject for just a second?
Sure, man. We got like 4 minutes.
What
good.
happens if he does leave, goes to KTM, and is instantly battling at the front? Like, what does that do for Cowie too?
I don't think it does anything for Cowie.
No, you know what I'm talking about? Like, you get what I'm saying?
Now I will. If that does happen, it just shows that Prado didn't suit Cowie. He's always been on an Austrian bike. I would think so. If Chase goes there next year and Chase struggles, then you can have two cases.
If
there.
you have Chase struggling just a little bit, let's just say it's a little bit, because he's used to the American tracks and the American style racing, so I don't think it can go as bad. But let's just say he does struggle. He's not exactly where he is, and then
I think it solidifies what Prado was going through.
Yeah,
but Prado has to do good on KTM first.
But could that? What does that do for KTM's bike sales? For Kawasaki's bike sales, for Kawasaki in general.
I think Kawasaki's bike sales are already not like.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I don't know how much effect Prado necessarily would have on Kawasaki, but if Chase goes there and also has really there's no way Chase is as bad on the Kawi as Prado's been. No way.
No. But I don't think he will be. But I don't.
But if he's way off the mark,
can't even because now
if it's clearly he's not Chase is struggling because of the bike, then I think
you can say pretty confidently right now that at any given day, Chase is the one to match Jet's speed. Chase can even be faster than Jet. He's really the only one. Tomac sometimes lightning in a bottle kind of thing, but for the most part, Chase is the only one that you can really say that he does that. If he's not even holding a candle, he's just constantly 2 or 3 seconds off and if he's like Jake qualifying and then just doesn't even he's in front of Jet passes him and leaves him, that kind of thing start happening, then Kawhi's got a real problem on their hands.
Although that's all silly because the general consumer, none of that shit really matters.
But it doesn't matter. But
I know it doesn't, but it shouldn't, because what Prado can do or can't do on a Kawasaki has zero to do with me, because I can't do any of the stuff.
But if Jet comes, if Chase comes out next year and is where J Coop was this year, which is was great for J Coop, but for Chase that wouldn't be where he wants to be. You know what I mean?
It looks bad.
Yeah. Well,
it would look bad. Before we get to Eli, Race Tech Service Centers, I want to give a shout out to a few of these here and there as we go. PDR Performance up in Minnesota. Clay Olson owns that. He was my suspension tuner. He did a lot of stuff for me last year and previous. Great shop. So if you're anywhere in the Minnesota area and you're looking for a service center, hit up PDR Performance. Again, up in Minnesota. Clay Olson's a really good dude. He's had a lot of local races. He's all over the place. So check those guys out, racetech.com, to find your local service center. I'm going to work on getting Eli on the phone real quick. Let me...
and I know you have it on the news thing, but Christian Craig to Quadlock.
For World Supercross.
Yes. I was going to ask, is that just World Supercross?
Right now, that's all. Yes. Nothing has been confirmed coming up for after that. So, that news, not really sure when we'll see that. All right, our first guest of the night's on the phone. He's going to be brought to you tonight by Racetech. For over 40 years, Racetech has been supplying the motorcycle industry with high-quality suspension components made right here in the USA. From modern to vintage, Racetech is your go-to source for suspension performance. Racetech.com. Tonight, Racetech brings us from the Monster Energy Yamaha Star Racing Team, Eli Tomac. What's up, Eli?
Hey there. How's it going?
It's going good, man. How are you? I want to ask you, I saw on your social, it looks like you're in Charlotte. Did you go out early?
Yeah. I was out here early, just on the East Coast. And, yeah, of course, did a little bit of SMX testing down at Star. And, yep, just spent Monday, Tuesday there. And then I figured it would be a good time just to get up here and chill out before the race. So, yep, got a couple days in here early. And then, but we get Friday now. So that's pretty nice that we get a Friday free practice, try to figure some stuff out with these rounds.
Yeah, are you excited for SMX playoffs, or are you kind of like, it's a long season, man? I mean, obviously you miss some races, but yeah. So are you excited for this 3-round playoff series? I mean, you're doing World Supercross, I think, MXDN, so really there's no break in sight for you.
Yeah, I'm fine with it, and of course I missed the Supercross, like you said, so I'm good with to keep racing. And I wasn't happy with my last race at Bud, so I'm excited to get another go here, somewhat right away. And race these SMX races, like I had a good showing at them last year. You're pretty good. Of course, it wasn't perfect, but for the most part, I enjoyed it. Kind of a different challenge, and it presents a lot of challenges on the motorcycle and in the areas that you want to work on. It's really hard to pick between a motocross and a supercross setup, but it's been kind of fun trying to break it down and figure out what works and what doesn't.
Yeah, I can imagine. I feel like most of you guys lean more towards a supercross setup because it does, at least from my perspective up here, it's more supercrossy than MX, but supercross suspension in the sand sweeper at Concord, North Carolina, not going to be easy.
Yeah, that's the problem is that there's still the jumps, but then you got the sand and you got some more high speed stuff. So it is really hard to run like a full blown supercross chassis, but for the most part, it's probably a little more supercross based suspension wise. And it's something different.
I want to go back. You mentioned Buds and you weren't happy at that result. And I've got one, let's just overall outdoors. I mean, I know it didn't go how you wanted. Let's just actually go through your whole season. Are there 2 or 3 things that you can, or moments that you can go, okay, that was a high point. That was a high point. I can take these positives away and be somewhat happy with your season?
Well, I was the best guy with a name that's not Lawrence. So that's a positive.
Okay.
So there's a positive, and yeah, there was some stuff in there. I mean, I think back and like the one I felt like I gave away was Hangtown.
Yep.
Of course, I won that first moto, and then Moto 2 just totally blew it on the start, and then was super shuffled back, and then ended up crashing and whatnot. So that one, I really feel like it should have been mine, and I just didn't execute a good start and got bumped and whatnot, and then of course topped it off with a fall. So that was a frustrating one to kind of have slip away. And then really, what's another one? It was kind of just a little bit all over the place. Like 1 week it would be okay. Like I was, I felt pretty good at Washougal. I felt pretty good at Unadilla, but
I think High Point, of course, you were pretty good.
Had some struggles. Yeah, High Point was pretty good. So yeah, just like I said, and it's kind of how the results were is how I felt. Like I felt like I was just kind of the third best guy this year, and that's the way it played out.
Okay, so since you said that, Lewis Phillips from Vital MX asked you a question at Buds. He said, have you redefined what an acceptable season is? And you said, I don't want to accept that I'm a third place podium guy. So, okay, so what does Eli Tomac have to do to get past that? What's the next step, or what needs to change to make sure that you're not a steady third place guy, but a first place guy? What do you think it is?
Yeah, my mindset is not going to change. I'm not going to accept that. So that's why I'm like, I'm frustrated. Yes, I got a moto win and never close out an overall, but how do I change that? I just have to catch up to those guys in executing the whole day, and then just trying to be better, just to be better. So of course you gotta figure out where and why and how to do it.
Sure. Yeah. That's the $1 million question, right?
Yeah, it's $1 million question. So, yeah, they were just really good this year. Yep, they were good this summer.
Yeah, Eli, you mentioned the little bit of the all over the place this season, and sometimes it was like that's Eli, that's the fastest guy on the track, clearly, and then sometimes it's like okay, he's struggling a little bit through week to week. Coming into those races, did you have an idea of the ways that you were feeling, or how the bike felt, or how you knew a certain track condition was going to set up? Did you kind of know what weekends were going to be those weekends, or it just was as soon as you got into the motos, it just was what it was?
I'm trying to think if well, like the ones I knew I would do, the place I knew I would be good at is Hangtown. I knew I'd be good at like Washougal, and I had some decent results there, but otherwise I can't really put a finger on it, like why I wasn't able to to win more single races. But yeah, I can't exactly tell you why. So
was Southwick a shock?
Yeah, of course. I mean, that's one of my favorite tracks. So I wish I would have had a stronger showing there. I don't even remember what place I got. To be honest, did I get third overall there? I don't know.
I think you did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, TJ. But see, Southwick. Yeah, 33 for third.
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
So go ahead.
Yeah, like I said, and I think I got beat by both the Lawrences once again.
Yeah, look, they're pretty good. There's no doubt. The overall level of the top five, between you guys, Chase. I mean, yeah, we say it all the time. It's a stacked field, but really, it's when you look at the guys that are 7th, 8th, and 9th or whatever. Like, look, and there's just a lot of good guys on dirt bikes right now. Period. Yeah.
There is. Yep. There's the 450 class is as per usual, but it's just it's very stacked.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but you are kind of a little bit of an enigma in the motocross world, because you basically spent your whole time of growing up, racing, training, and everything in Colorado at the altitude and training at home. And it seems like, and maybe I'm wrong, but from the outside looking in, this last few years with Yamaha, you spent a little more time, training at the goat farm and doing that stuff. My question is, if you had it to do over again, do you think there would have been an advantage maybe with training with more guys at different places like that? Like when you were younger, to like coming in as a pro in the 250s into the 450s?
No, I don't. I think you can definitely do it your own way. And there's just, there's goods and there's bad with it. In my opinion, the training facilities there's basically too much scrimmage every day. And I don't think it's sustainable. For a lengthy career. Yep. So in my opinion, yeah, I was somewhat privileged to have my own track, but of course we still had to do the work and make it happen. And I think you can do it on your own. And there's certain times where those environments are good. Like it's a really good environment to test in and get, good race settings, but over a season and over years, 10 years down the road, I don't see that being sustainable and healthy for riders.
Now, I may sound dumb here, but I know that
You will.
I will.
Per
Yeah.
usual.
We have a drop on here that he plays when I sound like an idiot, so that may get dropped here. But we know that Zacho came and trained with you for a while. I know that have you had a lot of people that come up there and train with you, or are you 90% by yourself?
I've been 90% by myself, and it's been very, very, very selective. And
Gotcha.
there hasn't been up there, and to be honest, it's kind of tough to get there. We're in the middle of nowhere, and it is harder to train on a 250 up there. I will say a 250 is miserable to ride at elevation.
Yeah.
You can do it. It's a little bit harder to deal with. A 450 isn't as bad for me. Like when I go from sea level to my house and vice versa, the 450 transition and they can make power easier in the 450 to kind of try to make it similar when you go back down to sea level. So I have totally enjoyed staying at my home in my 450 career.
I know now why you are so fast around the outside of berms and stuff, because you trained on a 250 up there for so long. You just had to rail everything.
Good point.
Yeah, and we I mean, it's not super race realistic. Sometimes they'll put some sweet dozer berms on stuff, but we'll dozer berm a lot of corners at our house. So that's another reason why I'm good at berm blasting.
It makes so much sense now.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Eli, I've got a few more questions for you. That I've got some fun listener questions I want to hit before we let you go. As we kind of get into the latter part of your career, well, first of all, there was some moments where you're like, I don't know if I'm going to come back. What keeps bringing you back? Like right now, what's bringing you back? Is it just that you still have the drive? I think you're still having fun personally, but maybe I want to hear it from you.
Yeah, it's all of that of what you just said. It's enjoying racing and really realizing how much you love racing.
Mm-hmm.
And I am still competitive too.
Yeah, and
so
I would bet there's not really a lot of positives from injuries, but that would be one of them. Is that realization is like, shit, I don't like it when I'm not racing.
Yeah, it's like a racing addiction, and it's it's part of being an athlete and a racer.
Yeah.
You just, no matter what, it's like you can't get enough. And I've enjoyed that chase. You know, as long as I still enjoy that chase and I'm battling up front, then that's why I've kept going. And those injuries, they maybe they have extended it a year or two, but it's hard to put a finger on it why, but other than having the motivation to do it, and I still am motivated to do it.
I love it.
It is kind of cool. Like it doesn't get brought up enough. I think this season, like there was several times where it was clearly that Tomac was the fastest guy.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Still Glendale was my favorite race.
Oh
of the
yeah,
season.
Glendale was awesome.
Race 2 of Glendale, like my head was exploding at that.
Yeah.
It was so awesome. God, that was so awesome. And it didn't even win that.
Yeah.
It was just coming from the back.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I wish I had a better overall finish that night, but that one race was those are one of those good ones. Like it's where you can count on the, only on your hands how many times you've had like that good of a flow and feeling. So that was pretty cool.
So what I wanted to ask you with this, as we get into the twilight of your career, are you starting to, on race day, take it all in? The autographs, the fans, the opening ceremonies, where it's like, okay, it wasn't probably as enjoyable a few years ago because it took away from what you were there to do. But now you're like, hey, man, I'm not going to have this forever.
Yeah, but I've kind of have had that going for a while because I've been a little wishy-washy on even telling sponsors on what I'm going to do, but I'm kind of just going with the flow with that. And really for his overall pressure at the races, the most pressure I had taken off of me was actually after my first 450 Supercross championship. After that one, I was just I've been in basically a better mood since because I had so much pressure and stress and in that constant question, when is he going to win a Supercross championship? Ever since then, I feel like I've been in a better mood.
Yeah, and actually, I think we've seen that, and you're probably tired of the media saying that. But yeah, for sure, that makes sense. And I've also kind of noticed, and I was going to ask you about just the relationship with your competition. You know, again, 5 years ago, probably couldn't be very friendly with those guys, but now like we see you on the podium or at the press conference and you're laughing with Jet and Hunter and talking about the bull that got away or whatever, but you got it just, you're more relaxed. And I think that's fun, man. I wish RV could have had that.
Yeah, it's interesting. I put a lot of that like on just age in general too. It's just as you get in your whatever, you just I put it to age also. Having that
makes sense.
You know, yeah. Anyway.
All right. I got one more current racing, then we're going to do a few questions from the listeners.
Okay.
MXDN's coming up. We're super excited about that. Ironman back in the U.S. I mean, this year's got to feel good going into Motocross of Nations with the team we have, being at home again. Like let's get this job done.
We better get it done. We better. It's going to be another high pressure event for us because I feel like we do have an advantage and we've got a super strong team. So we better get it done. And it's what a great race. I've had so much fun at these last couple that I've been to. So we've got a strong team and you know, we've got a great chance of getting it done, but we still got to go out there and do it.
For sure.
Yeah, Eli, what did you kind of enjoy more? The feeling going to Matterley last year where you guys weren't really expected to do much and then you kind of exceeded expectations, or this feeling of, hey, let's go get the job done. It's ours to lose kind of thing.
Expected to win almost.
Yeah.
No matter what, I mean, I would say we're all winners in our minds. So last year it sucked. No matter what, having Australia beat us like that, it sucked. And we had a good showing, but we still lost. So winning is the only thing that matters to all of us. All three of us that'll go. Yep.
All right. Eli Tomac tonight brought to you by Race Tech. Let's do a few listener questions from Instagram. Cleary Welds, what bow brand do you shoot?
So I currently shoot a Matthews. And then when I was in Washougal, I shot with Cam Haynes and he had me shoot a Hoyt. So I'm actually going to get a Hoyt as well. So I'm going to be shooting both. So I'm going to kind of go between both. So right now I'm shooting a Matthews, but I'm going to try a Hoyt, and I think I shoot like a 32-inch, what do they call it? Cam to cam on that. So a little bit longer bow. Yep.
That thing y'all did at Washougal was cool.
Yeah, that was crazy. And it was like Garrett was actually the best shot there. He hit that 80-yard target like 2 or 3 times in a row. It was crazy.
Oh, wow. That's a long way with a bow. For me,
it's really long.
My favorite thing about this interview is when you said that, watching Jamie Darkside's face go, like he knew what you were talking about.
I have an old bear.
It's just
bow,
so funny. He was just like, and we're like, he has no clue.
Matthews and Hoyt. I know what that is. I have a. Shut up. I'm not a hunter, Eli, but I did own a old bear bow, and I would just shoot targets out back. But I like to shoot. I'm just never. I don't. Anyway, shut up, CJ. Okay, J Taylor 131. Do you just occasionally go on Twitter, or are you always lurking in the shadows?
Okay, so I'm on X a lot, and I mostly just like it for reading.
Yeah.
And of course, I read news feeds, and I don't follow a ton of moto stuff, but because of like the algorithms and I'm sure of daily conversation with your phones listening to you, like moto stuff will pop up in my feed no matter what. So of course I'll see little bits and pieces, and I get a little buried into it. But I'm actually on social media probably more than people expect for the amount that I post.
Okay. So there's another question later in it, and we may not get to it, but is there actually beef with Mathis? Because Steve wasn't sure.
Well, okay. So, I mean, I was in that situation. It was this eye for an eye.
Yeah.
And I just gave it to him back on my opinion on what he said. So that was dead serious.
Awesome.
And
Love it.
Yep.
As much
Eye for an
crap
eye.
as you can give Steve, I'm down for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Dog Lover 136. What is Eli's favorite and least favorite food?
Food. If I had to go out and eat dinner every night, I would go to Italian. So Italian food, hands down. And then my least favorite is seafood. I'm not a big, like, no oysters, no any seafood.
Okay. All right.
No, or I should say shellfish. No shellfish, that stuff.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's do 3 more.
It's like he grew up in the mountains or something.
Yeah, right?
Rocky Mountain oysters?
We're right here, in Texas near Louisiana, so crawfish is big here, Eli. So, yeah, you're out on that, but that's okay.
Yeah. I'm not a competent.
Katie Stew in 21. I don't know if we're going to get an answer out of this. What is Eli's favorite Taylor Swift song? God, I hope you don't have one.
Dude, I'm not answering that.
Okay, cool.
No.
Hey, all right. So
Is that because you don't have one, or you just don't want to tell us that you have one?
So listen, I don't know. 5 years ago,
I do not listen to T Swift. I'll tell you that.
All right. Like 5 years ago or so, when Chase was on Pulp, Steve asked him something like that, and he said like he likes Taylor Swift. And I don't know if anybody remembers that, but I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I wonder how that Coldplay concert went for him.
Dirt on Chase.
So during the MXDN, just kind of walk around jamming like T Swift just to mess with it.
Yeah. Oh boy. Okay, let's see. Griff the Dude. Aside from wins and titles, you already gotten that one. I got 3. This is for Zach, who's coming up next. Zach Bell. Does Eli have any hunting plans this fall? Fish on guide service. You have any scheduled hunts coming up?
Yeah, I have a deer tag this year, and it's a 3rd rifle season tag, and that's in it's sometime in November would be that tag, and then if I want to do elk, I would have to do over the counter rifle, and I didn't draw an archery tag because the draw kind of changed in Colorado where it's harder to get a tag. And I didn't put in for like our local unit. So I'm going more for preference points for that. And anyway, the archery's, to me, it's backwards. I would like for someone to explain this to me, but in Colorado, a lot of our units got into a lottery system or draw system for archery, and a lot of rifle hunting is still over the counter, and I don't understand it because archery hunting is so much harder and it has such a lesser success rate. It kind of seems backwards to me. So I don't know if they really think hunters are pushing around elk like in the breeding season, but it's been frustrating for archers because the tags are harder to get. Meanwhile, you can just go get a rifle tag over the counter. Anyway.
Yeah, no, that doesn't make sense. And I already told you I don't hunt, but it doesn't.
It doesn't make sense. Like, it would be nice to actually have an educated, whatever.
Yeah.
Talk about it and reasoning why. But I actually haven't done that, so I can't say much other than it is frustrating as an archer.
I can see that.
I know the hunting up there is just amazing, but do you ever go to either West Texas and Big Plains area or something along those lines to hunt other things? Or are you just mainly there in Colorado or in the mountains?
I haven't done that yet. I basically have done all my hunting in Colorado just because I've been racing a dirt bike my whole life. So I've always just tried to sneak in a week or 2 here or there. So I'm saving that for the day that the dirt bike boots are hung up. Yep.
All right. There's a bunch more I'd love to get to. I'm going to finish with this one. Last one. This Dr. Papa, do you have freestyle tricks in your repertoire? And why don't you guys do last lap tricks? Can we do a backflip, Eli?
I would say I was more loose on a 250. So back in the day, I did a knack in Vegas on a 250. And I think it was in an East-West shootout. Or maybe one of the finals, but I haven't done one since. I haven't done a knack on a 450. So, and that's the only real freestyle trick I have in the bag. Otherwise, I'm just No, I can't do it. I can't do it.
When you
Can't
say
do anything else, and I haven't tried anything else either.
When I would say when you say you can't do it, like you don't do them at home or anything on a 450, like you've never done
No.
one.
Dude, that Yamaha
Nope.
will get away from you quick, TJ.
I just haven't had any interest, and well, here's the thing: is you don't want to wad yourself up. So as a racer, it's like you can't take that risk.
Sure.
You can't.
Yeah.
At least in my head, I know a lot of the guys have tried stuff, but
Well, I hit up.
Yeah.
We got a buddy who has like a freestyle place, and I tried a knack and was too much of a wussy to take my leg over the seat in the air.
So you didn't do a
You did a
So,
knack.
so I decided to try to do the motion on the ground just in case. And then when I put my foot back on the pegs, I stomped the back brake pedal and went over the handlebars.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe I shouldn't do this in the air.
But you're an idiot.
I can't even do it on the ground.
yeah, it's not good if you hang a toe on a neck.
No. Okay. I don't know if you'll ask this before we let you go answer this, but I had Ulrich send me over some photos from Yamaha, and your photo shoot photos were there. Was that you? Did you do the photo
When?
shoot photos?
What do you mean?
Was it you riding? Because sometimes it's not always the factory rider doing the photo shoot.
Photo shoot for what?
For Yamaha.
What season?
This season.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was a shot where I was like, that doesn't look like Eli's eyes, but I didn't, and I've
He's
heard
staring deep
there's
into
plenty
your
of stories, man, where like, well, so and so didn't do.
He was
the
in beast
shoot.
mode, man.
Okay,
He's got a different
Hey,
eyes.
all right. Well, Eli,
Yeah.
this has
Yeah.
been.
No, I didn't have any. What do they call it? Like doppelganger or lookalike? No.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, man,
Yeah.
this is always fun when you do this for us. We try not to bother you too often, and I know you're a busy guy, but thank you so much for this, and I know our listeners appreciate it.
All right. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir. Have a good night. Thanks.
All right. See you.
That's Eli Tomac, brought to you tonight by Race Tech. Man, I really like the listener questions. I think it feels like it
He kind of opened him up.
It always kind of opens him up, man. So I think it's really good to have him on. For those,
He was definitely more into talking about like bow hunting and elk.
That's why I wanted to get to those.
Yeah.
For those of you who are listening that maybe don't listen regularly, or even our regular listeners, look, I would have loved to ask him about 26 and what's going on. I actually shot him a text earlier just to kind of get a heads up, say, hey, what can we talk about? And he's like, look, man, I can't talk about anything. So if you ask me, I can't say anything. So there's really no point in putting him in that position.
Yeah.
So that's why we didn't touch on what he may or may not be
everybody
doing.
freaks out. Like, y'all know the protocol.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
just
not
like,
how it
look,
works. We can't just.
If I put him in that position, then why would he come on?
We're lucky that he even
come Anaheim.
came on our show. So
Yeah.
like the fact that he's not going to break the news on the MotoXpod. Sorry, guys.
Do you think that there is actually verbiage? I'd like to hear from people maybe who are out of the industry now, that there's verbiage in the contracts that you can't talk about what's going on.
100% there is.
But
Until
okay,
October 1, I think.
what the reason why I asked that is because other sports,
Or
like
November 1.
football, baseball, like other racing, they talk about
Well,
that stuff.
that is like mostly like leaked insider information.
No, the riders talk about it. Hey, like whenever what's his name was going to Ferrari here recently.
Yeah,
it was
maybe,
just
but-
open. And so that's my question is, I wonder if it's just
I think those deals get done earlier, like are official earlier.
but
That's not happening before the deal's official. There's no way.
well, what I'm getting at is,
Go
I'm
ahead.
just saying, is there actual verbiage you can't talk about if you're leaving or not, or is it just a what do you call it, unspoken rule?
I think there is verbiage. That'd be another question that Lewis would probably know more of because he has help with contracts for some riders and stuff, so he would know that. I would assume, but
Yeah,
I'm not real media.
because
so I don't know shit.
obviously that was not in Prado's contract.
Well, he didn't say he was going anywhere else necessarily.
That's true. That's
He
true.
just he was just like, I don't like my bike, man. It's dangerous. Okay, we got about 15 minutes before we get Zach Bell on. Let's do X brand emails. You guys okay with that? Anybody got any?
Do we have a choice?
No. I just want to know if you're okay with it.
Okay, I guess so.
Cool. With X brand goggles, vision is your advantage. Engineered for clarity, comfort, and durability, EKS goggles keep your focus sharp. Wow, I'm going to start this whole thing over.
Please
Can we
do.
cut this out?
Yes.
No.
Nobody heard this, right?
Nobody
Right,
listens.
ready?
Nobody listens.
With X brand goggles, vision is your advantage. Engineered for clarity, comfort, and durability, X brand goggles keep
Just do it, man. Just go. Just go.
X-Brand is getting a lot of love right now because we're saying their name like a
I
million.
can't do it. With X-Brand goggles, vision.
Bro, you're hanging yourself up, man. Nobody noticed. Just keep going.
What do you mean they don't notice?
We just had a great ET interview, and you
show
blew
sucks
it.
now.
Yeah.
With X-Brand goggles, vision is your advantage. Engineered for clarity, comfort, and durability, X goggles keeps your focus sharp through roost, rain, and ruts. Trusted by champions, built for every rider. Crystal clear optics, all-day comfort, zero distractions. Ride with X, because every second counts. Gear up at X-Brand, EKSbrand.com.
Why are we yelling?
I don't know, man. Sorry if I'm blowing eardrums out. All right. X-Brand emails. Let's go with Phil Smeltzer. Now, I read this thing 3 times. I'm not sure I know what Phil was asking. But
let's dive into it.
I love AP, but I'm confused why 2-time Supercross barely gets 1 year 450 deal. So is not about just racing. Like the same with Ferrandis. I think he means Ferrandis. And Ferrandis and J-Coop. Ferrandis got a 450 title, but they keep J-Coop. Maybe there's more to it. They don't tell us, but this seems like KTM Group would put Vial on Husky or Gas if KTM was full. Am I crazy?
Yes.
No. I think Vial wants to leave.
And I think because, like, what do you? Here's my thought. Maybe this is crazy.
I like Phil too, by the way. He sends lots of emails, and I appreciate it. But that one was a little confusing.
Absolutely, that he wants to. He would love to stay, but he's not going to get paid what he could get paid over there, in my opinion. And he doesn't have to deal with the Lawrence brothers over there.
I'm
not saying he's running from it, but he has a chance of being at the front of the pack.
I realize that he just won 2 Supercross titles in a row. I don't think he, in any way, shape, or form, beats AP consistently.
Not a chance.
No, I don't think so either. Not on a 450.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Not for a couple of years.
So, like, to say that Vial should have that ride and that he's leaving because they gave it, like, why give it to AP? Like, Vial does not beat AP. And AP sells a lot of dirt bikes by being who he is, and the fans, like, I've seen multiple people that don't know anything about the sport. I take them to a Supercross, and they're just immediately drawn to AP. That is worth more than championships.
My dad's an AP fan.
That is worth way more than a couple of second places.
So we basically, I think most of us here, except for Scotty, are fans of Ferrandis.
How am I not a fan of Ferrandis?
Does Scotty not like Ferrandis?
No, he doesn't.
Where are you getting that? If you can give me some evidence and context to back that up, maybe.
I said it.
Hang on. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh. Go ahead.
There we go. We muted him. No, but but that being said, I don't think that Ferrandis was maybe as easy to work with as J. Coop.
Yeah. Since he's muted, I'm really annoyed with him right now. He can't hear us, right? Because he's muted.
He can't.
Is that how it works?
That's how it works.
Joking. Anyway.
Why are you annoyed?
That was a bad dad joke. Anyway. I think his opportunity for success, for more success, not, again, yes, to
long-term success,
is probably greater if he goes back to the GPs, more than likely.
Dude, they're going to love him over there. The fans are going to go nuts for him coming back. He went over there, won Supercross, and now he's coming back. It'll be awesome.
All right. Okay.
And Prado showed that there's not a lot of competition over there.
Let's see. Marco Felipe,
is that a hot take? Would you consider that a hot take?
That's a hot take.
What he just said? Would you consider what he just said?
I was looking at the next email. Sorry,
he said
didn't know we were doing hot takes.
He said that Prado just proved that it's not as fast over there at the GPs.
Oh wow!
Is that even a hot take now, or is that just kind of just a basic observation?
No, don't you?
I don't think. No, I disagree.
Don't be an idiot. Changed my life.
I disagree.
GPs are B class.
Dude, Geyser and Hurlings are not B class.
B class.
Wow.
Hurlings has been hurt.
What?
Sorry, go ahead. Like, as soon as Hurlings got to feeling better, what'd he do?
He wins.
He wins.
Or he crashes.
Okay, but I'm just saying, like, we're talking about a guy, how many years, like, how old is he now?
You're comparing the Prado success to when, like, Hurlings, is that what you're saying? Because Hurlings was hurt?
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, and a lot of times Geyser was hurt.
Exactly.
And
what I'm saying is,
I don't think Prado's on Hurlings level.
Do you think Geyser could come over here and be a consistent podium guy?
Outdoors?
Yeah.
You're talking about outdoors.
Yes.
Yes, outdoors. Not
I
a
don't know
chance.
about
Not a chance.
top five.
He passed Jet at
But
Matterley.
you see the look you had there, top 5, and so he can.
Well, I don't know that Eli can consistently beat Jet or that Chase.
Not Jet. I'm just talking about like you even
He said
questioned a
podium.
top 5. I said podium guy.
But that means he has to be up there with Jet, Hunter, and
I think
Chase, which he
Geiser.
can be,
And so when he's
and probably
healthy,
would be, but not. I think those to say consistently, I think some those other guys would be in there.
and when he's healthy, he beats Prado over there.
Yeah,
The only two
sure.
people that
I
have-
know what you're saying, but Prado's not a 17th place guy in the
that-
U.S.
he's
a very-
He's not.
7th.
He shouldn't be getting beat by. I'm like blanking on names. Like not.
Jay Coop should beat him.
Well, yeah, I don't know, man.
Cooper beat
That's
him.
tough.
No, okay, you got Jet should beat him. This is my opinion. Jet should be able to beat him. Hunter should beat him. Tomac should beat him. Roxon can beat him. What do you call it? Jay Coop, Cooper Webb.
I would put him on. He should be on par with J. Coop.
So, but Cooper Webb is faster than Jay Coop or not? Because Jay Coop's been beating Cooper Webb.
Cooper Webb is about on par with J. Coop too outdoors.
And I'm just saying.
So that's about where I would put Prado.
So you're pushing him to 7th place.
Oh yeah, I'd say 5 to 7 if he's riding at his full capability.
He was the best for 2 years in a row.
Okay,
over there.
but that doesn't mean MXGPs are whatever you said B class, because
They're B class.
Geiser and Hurlings are not. They're just they're top.
Hurlings
the top of their level is much more limited.
I would say Hurlings is beat up, hurt multiple times. He's worried about getting hurt. He doesn't have the speed anymore that he had when he was younger. And
Neither does
Geiser
Eli.
and Geiser can't hold it together because he's riding over his head to be able to beat Prado, who is the 7th place guy over here.
I actually wanted to ask Eli. It didn't really work in, but I think that he's not consistently doing it, but I think that sometimes his pace is as fast, if not faster, than it ever was back in the day.
I do think the level is elevated. Yes,
That's what
because
it's kinda-
because
it's not what
probably
you
of
just
Jet.
said, though.
Yeah.
All right, you guys okay if we keep doing some emails?
Go ahead.
He's getting some
No, I mean-
tissues.
We're supposed to talk
Yeah.
during this talk show?
No, he
But-
wants some tissues. He needs some tissues.
He doesn't like that I'm dissing on the GPs, and I don't know why. It's the GPs
Yes,
are
there
so
you
good
go. There you go.
that
Go up wipe your eye.
I can't see, man.
hey, the
Is you
GPs
fogging
My
up?
glasses are
'Cause
fogging
you're-
up because I'm crying.
the GPs are so good that even Lewis left them to come over here.
Oh, that is a good point.
Man, you're gonna make Lewis hate you.
Why? He also left the GPs because American racing's better.
I think he's realizing maybe it might have been a better place to be.
But the racing this is where you want to be.
He came for here a reason.
I
That's
don't know
TJ's
that he
point.
would. I
I've
don't
been
know
on-
that he would agree with that.
For the
I don't
record,
know.
I've been on your side on all these arguments that you made for once. I know that's
Okay.
That's pretty rare. Usually it's me and him versus you, but I'm on you with you on this one.
Cool.
trying to get your
Marco
bike fixed or
Felipe.
I do need that.
Do we see a second Kawasaki 450 rider next year?
Yes.
Yeah, somebody.
I think we do. I'm not sure who it's going to be yet.
Oh, that'd be a fun game. Like a musical chairs. Who gets that spot?
Because I was thinking that Prado wasn't for sure leaving, but if Prado leaves, then the second 250 guy, 450 guy would be.
Well, we don't know right now.
I know this won't happen. I would move Levi up.
That would be the thing. I think that's a ticket. You move one of your 250 guys up.
Okay.
That won't happen though because Levi wants to win a 250 title. But
He'd take the 450 ride.
you think
Absolutely.
a factory Cowie 450 ride?
Blake Baumer, B-A-U-M-E-R.
Yep.
Bomber.
Olmayer.
Yeah, sure. Okay. He said, hey, I just had a thought the other day. Man, I really miss hearing the Privateer Island podcast from Pulp. It seems as if Steve has given up on that specific show. I think it would be really cool if you would be able to pick up that segment of the industry and help tell stories that otherwise will go unheard. Guys like Crockett, Myers, Cody Groves, Ashton Bloxon. And yeah, I think the plan is to do a lot more. I'm going to call them just spotlights, which I only have done one so far. The other ones I've scheduled have fallen through so far. But I'm working on doing some more like one-on-ones, and it won't be just privateers, but it will be some privateers like that. And but
Go listen to old MotoXpod shows because that's about all they were.
there was a bunch of That's not true.
We had guys, but we had a lot of privateer
We had a lot
guys.
of
Oh, yeah,
privateers,
but he's wanting current guys. So I will do more stuff like that, Blake, coming up. I am finding it more difficult to get things done than when I didn't have a full-time regular job also. It's hard to get people scheduled for Monday night, Tuesday night. Well, Tuesday night's show prep night, Wednesday night's show. Trying to get these things done has been a little more taxing than I thought it was going to be, but stay tuned. They're coming. He also said on a similar note, I thought, man, think of all the retired racers who never had a podcast platform to tell some of their stories from the road. I'm not talking guys like RC or Stu. I'm talking guys like Zach Ames, Travis Sewell, Gavin Faith.
Well, guess what? He's going to love tonight's show.
Yeah, with Zach Bell coming up. But
I mean, he's not a privateer, but yeah.
Yeah, but the goal is to do more things like that coming up soon.
Yeah.
So just stay tuned. We're working on it. These two donkeys are supposed to be riding one thing a week. And
I was about to say, like, I know he has totally dropped the ball constantly.
I mean, I did a J Coop story last week, and I fixed a Doc Smith tail that took me 2 hours just to clean up and get legible.
I would love,
But there's more coming, and you guys can. Well, that's not. Yeah, you guys just stay tuned to MotoXpod.com.
Yeah, I've missed a couple, but I'll get back to it.
I think I have too, so I'm just throwing you under the bus.
And then Chase is just not going to do anything. Chase is just Chase.
Well, we will need Chase for pictures at some point.
Yeah. That's what he'll be used for. Is he'll be help video and
dick pics,
shoot photos. Okay, I think this is the last email, and we got to get Zach Bell on. But Norman Gardner, sup Texans. The pundits are already calling Shimoda the favorite for the 26 SMX season. Seems like recency bias as people are forgetting about Cole Davies. Would love to know your take on that. Davies did win a couple Supercross races. It was on quite a roll. And with that experience under his belt, should be even better. Keep up the good work, boys. Cheers. Thanks, Norman. I'm not ready to go there with Cole just yet, guy. I'm sorry.
Outdoors.
Joe, for me, is probably the favorite. I'd like to think Levi could be one also.
I will say that more than likely, especially based off of how this season went this year, I would say a pretty good chance that Cole Davies and Hayden Deegan aren't on the same coast. I would also imagine that Honda doesn't put Joe.
What happened? What do you mean?
I would also imagine that Honda doesn't put Joe on the opposite coast of Hayden if possible.
You're talking about Supercross specific.
Yes.
He's talking SMX. So that'd be.
I thought you were talking about next year.
You know, I think
he is next year SMX combined. So that's Supercross and Motocross.
Well, Hayden's not doing outdoors next year, so
that's why Hayden's not in the conversation.
That's why he's talking about like.
Because you're saying
I'm trying to say that there's gonna be probably a Cole Davies Joe Shimoda battle for the whatever coast.
I see what you're saying. Okay,
year.
I'm with you now. I understand.
I think that for SMX next year, my outside pick is gonna be Jalik. He is consistent.
I would love to see him be.
He can do it
for sure.
He can if he can get his season, get through the season without injuries or any crazy stuff.
That's been the question.
And then this will be the third year on that Triumph for him.
Yes. No. Second for Jalik.
Yeah. This year was his first.
Yeah.
This year was no.
Yes. Third for Jalik.
Yes, third year on the Triumph for Jalik.
Yes.
And I mean, he is staying there as far as we know, right?
As far as I know.
Yeah, and so I think this is going to be a really good if he can stay with the Triumph, stay with the team he likes, and man, I'm really excited about seeing that. But go ahead.
Yeah. All right. That was the X Brand emails. Our next guest of the night is on the line. He's going to be brought to you tonight by Guts Racing. Elevate your ride with Guts Racing seat covers, trusted by top pros and everyday riders alike. Designed for maximum traction and durability, Guts seat covers keep you locked in when the track gets rough and the stakes get high. Built to last, made to win. Ride with Guts because comfort and control aren't optional. GutsRacing.com. Tonight, Guts Racing brings us one of our former pros, the 2012 AMA Horizon Award winner and off-road guru, Zach Bell. What's up, Zach?
How's it going, guys?
It's going good, man. Good to talk to you, dude. I'm glad your buddy Taylor reached out and suggested this.
Yeah, played quite a bit of Fortnite with him. buddy that I've been friends with for quite some time. So yeah, he's like, man, I gotta get you on the pod. So I was like, yeah, let's do it.
When was the last time you did like a motocross or off-road interview? Has it been a while or?
It's been quite a while. So my last race was back in October of 23. And that's basically when our team folded and I basically just went a different direction. But it's been around 2023 since I've done any kind of interviews or any of that stuff.
Wow. And I want to get to your off-road career. Of course, we'll talk motocross, supercross, but did I understand right? Are you doing HVAC now?
Yeah. So basically I'm a sales consultant, for a pretty big company down here in the Southwest region of Florida. So, complete different, everything's different, right?
Yeah.
Not racing dirt bikes, but it's all the same.
Sure. You gotta,
competition.
Yeah, well, you got to work hard and you got to commit to whatever you're doing. Like, I don't know if Taylor told you, but I worked for Vital MX for 3 years full time, and then we parted ways. And I'm in Texas, and I was like, man, what am I going to do? And my buddies own an HVAC company, and I went to work for those guys
for 3 days.
4
days.
I'm going to make a whole lot of money. And then I realized these guys are working 12, 13, 14-hour days. And one, I don't want to do that. And two, I'm still trying to do a show, so there's no possible way I can do a show and work 14-hour days. So, yeah, I made it 4 days, Zach, and I was out.
Yeah, no, it's tough. I mean, I made my transition. We sold everything in California the end of November. We moved everything back to Florida, and I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I'm a hustler, so I found a pretty good company here, and they needed some experience and I didn't have it. So I just went in there and said, hey, I'm a hands-on kind of guy and I will learn. So they put me in a truck with a guy for 6 months, learned about the HVAC equipment, how to maintain it, how to work on it. And I moved up the ladder pretty quick. So I went from maintenance to service sales, now all the way up to sales. So basically I just run all the estimate leads, marketed leads, everything to, get somebody into a new AC system or duct work, basically all of that. So yeah, it's completely different, but it's the same thing, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would say no, Zach, you got to be pretty smart to figure that shit out. I thought I was relatively smart, and those first 4 days, I was like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, man. I was not good with the electrical side of it and understanding all that. So no, I don't think it's all the same. You got to be, you got to be pretty smart on it. And yeah, that's cool. I'm impressed.
Yeah, I mean, I was doing between 80 and 120 hours a week, some weeks, and that was brutal. Yeah. I mean, it's a complete 180 from my lifestyle where I could just wake up, get on my mountain bike, train, go ride, and then be done at 2:00 and have the rest of the day. Where I was at my first job at 7. Some nights I wouldn't get home till 2 or 3 at night, and it was crazy. But I had to work through that.
So okay, let's start there then. That's actually a really good spot to transition from professional racer to HVAC not even 9 to 5, like I will call it quote unquote a regular job. Mentally, was that tough? Like, hey man, I was a professional racer and now I'm out here sweating my nuts off in an attic or whatever. Was that tough to accept for a little while?
Not necessarily. So my main thing was I wanted to master my off-road career that last 7 to 8 years. And I knew it was coming to an end eventually. I had some injuries that, I physically just couldn't ride anymore. Like my last year of racing in 2023, I probably had 2 or 3 days on the bike during the week, from January till October. And the reason for that is because anytime I rode during the week, I couldn't race on the weekend. So I already had basically everything set aside, ready to move on. So the transition for me was, now I'm going to master this. I want to, be the best, technician here. I want to learn the quickest. I want to be in the best vehicle. So whenever I first got here, there was guys driving, these nice trucks. And I was like, man, I would love to get into one of those trucks. And 6 months down the road, I was, into that truck. And it was because I took the time, I learned, I did everything that I could to move up the ladder really quickly. And so not really, because I've always been, driven to be better.
Yeah.
So that made that pretty smooth. But as far as like the hours, that was the hardest part.
Sure.
Because, I was just having a girl, wife was pregnant, trying to, be a father and a husband. I that was probably the toughest thing, coming home at 3 a.m. and it was like, man, got to do this all over again tomorrow.
Yeah, I can see that. And the reason I kind of asked that question was I want to step back even further in your career when I mentioned, right, AMA Horizon Award winner, you won the 250A class at Loretta's in 12.
Yep.
You signed a deal with Factory Connection, Geico Honda, and you're kind of like the next big thing. And unfortunately, injuries really were the story of your career, and you have to at some point make a transition from the spotlight of Supercross, right? The top level of two-wheeled motorsports, and then you go off-road racing eventually, and it's cool, but it's certainly not the same spotlight. And I was wondering, if that was a tough transition, going from this hot kid coming out, as an amateur, and things not going as planned. Like, you're basically, your whole career you've had to be very mentally strong, I feel like, to keep going.
Yeah, so basically, whenever I signed with Factory Connection, I was always a guy that rode production bikes. I never liked anything too crazy. So my first race at Southwick, they're like, hey, man, we're going to put these 8-kit forks on your bike, and you're going to love it. My first practice, I went out there. I probably crashed 7 times. And I was like, dude, just put my suspension on my bike from Loretta's. We threw it on, and I think I qualified 4th in that second qualifying. So I was like, dude, if we could just keep my production stuff on here, I will be good. But they wouldn't allow it. So they let me race that weekend with it. Obviously, me and Eli were going back and forth. I ended up having a tip over. Hit my head a little bit. But from that point forward, I could never just get like a good setup with Geico, because whenever we were doing all of our testing, we had 3 spec settings that we could choose from. And the rider that made these specs for Mike LaRocco, he was 220 pounds and I was 125. And I just couldn't find a happy balance. So anytime I would go out on the track, it wouldn't gel for me. So I would end up crashing, getting hurt. And then in some of our contracts, is if we miss, 5 races throughout the year, then we basically don't get any salary.
Yeah.
So I was just trying to make up from everything that I had to try to keep racing, and it was just a downhill spiral from there.
Yeah, it's a bummer. I was going back through some of your results, and I actually went through Racer X, and there's a lot of articles about you, and I was kind of going through and seeing, I forgot how many injuries there were. So yeah, it's just like you really, we talk about it a lot. Like this sport is brutal. Some of the younger amateurs coming into the pro ranks really never get a chance to show really what they're capable of, because there's no time to groom these young kids. Like, you're expected to go win instantly, and when you don't, well, we got to let you go on to the next one. And it's you never really got a chance to get developed in Supercross or pro motocross.
Yeah, I mean, it's like all the training facilities now, it's so confined, and I feel like the only one that has it really good right now is Club MX, with how they run their program with their amateur team. They ride with all of the pro guys. They run all the same parts, the bikes. So once they get into that pro stage, it's, pretty much the same. It's what they do every week. For me, I lived in Cairo, Georgia, so I rode with my brothers, some of the people that we trained there. Obviously, I was successful as an amateur, but once I made that jump to the pro, it was completely different, right? So I had to try to adjust to that. Obviously, there's a lot more pressure that came with that. I signed a 4-year deal with Geico Honda and try to make the best out of it. But just, some things, it just doesn't work out.
Yeah, Zach, when it's, hindsight's always 20/20. And we look back at those things, and it's like, yeah, I could have done this, could have done that. You mentioned the training facilities. Do you think that this sport is going in the right direction with? I know you said Club does a really good job. I think that place is great. Do you think that is the direction for this to go? Do you think that if you had been in a place like Club, that maybe some things would have gone differently?
I think so, just because we're able to mature a little bit quicker. So whenever I turned pro, I just turned 16. I mean, we're just now getting our driver's license. We're happy. We're excited. When these kids actually get into the environment of riding with these guys that have the experience, they're able to bounce these things off of these guys and just try to get that true feeling of what a pro national or a supercross is going to be like. I never really had that just because I was in Cairo, Georgia. We had MTF, GPF. I never rode with those guys. They didn't like to ride with us. So it was, I had one place to ride. Obviously, I would go out to California to do some testing with GEICO, but it's completely different. That's why I think Club it's got a good platform right now. Like they've got, I don't know how many guys there, but Brandon does a great job at keeping all of his guys there, training. So I think so, yes. I think that's the way it's starting to develop. Once those kids are starting to mature a little bit more, you'll start to see like Juju, all these other guys like Cole Davies. He's out there at the start facility. He's riding with these guys at this race pace, right? So once he gets onto that track, it just feels natural to him.
So when you were doing your off-road racing, you're talking about facilities. They don't really have facilities for like off-road racing stuff. What did you do for training during all that?
So basically, up until my last injury I had with my wrist, it would be me, Talon LaFontaine, and a few other guys. We would just go out to the desert. And whenever I tell you 30-minute motos were hard at Glen Helen, we would have to do 2 one-hour motos on a track that was just completely beat to crap. And like putting 2 hours basically a day on your bike 3 days a week. So that was my main thing. Obviously, I trained a little bit with Taylor Robert, some of those other guys. I did the ISD for Team USA. So it was a complete different dynamic. I had a really good foundation as far as like my training off the bike. But as far as like the training on the bike, it was just me and a few guys, and we would just go out there and hammer 2-hour motos, 1-hour motos. It wasn't any more sprints because if we try to sprint, we still got another hour and a half to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
it's brutal.
So Zach, obviously the idea would have been to become a Supercross or motocross champion and do that.
Right.
Life works out the way it works out. You'd end up doing you have path changes and you start doing the enduro stuff. Do you think that ultimately you enjoyed it more being able to do the enduro stuff than maybe you would have sticking and just grinding injury after injury in motocross?
Yeah, I mean, whenever I turned pro in the off-road, that was in 2017, the culture, the atmosphere was a night and day difference. There's no way in heck I could go to the starting line, line up next to Eli or Jeremy Martin and just be like, "What's up, man? What do you think of the track? Like, you think it's going to be good?" Literally, whenever we would get on the line, it was just, we were all buddies, go out there, race for 2 hours, and the best man would win. And then as far as my training, like I would have my own schedule, doing whatever I wanted, road biking, mountain biking. It wasn't just like, man, it was still, brutal trying to train for this, but it was completely different.
Right. Yeah, I've done some GNCCs and stuff, and it's, dude, I don't get it, man. 2 hours on a motorcycle or 3 hours at the pro level is just, it's a lot. So, but TJ, you had a follow-up question?
Yeah, well, he was just talking about going out riding in the desert, and I was curious with you, like, why did you go do that side of the off-road and
works
works instead of like GNCC and stuff like that? Do you just not like trees or something?
So I grew up in Florida, obviously.
Right.
But I was living in California at the time, and my manager at the time in 2016 was like, "Hey man, we're going out to do a trail ride with Mark Samuels. You haven't been on the bike in about a year. Why don't you just come out and ride with us?" I was like, "Sweet, this will be fun." So I went out there. We did a trail ride. We went through Big Bear and stuff. And whenever I got back, Mark Samuels texted Jeremy, my manager, and he's like, "Hey, one of our guys is out. Does Zach want to try to jump on our bike?" And I texted back and I was like, "Dude, I would love to." So the next day, or maybe the day after, I went up to Yucca Valley and I jumped on Colton Udall's bike, completely not set up for me. And from that day, he was like, "You're racing for me this year." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You're going to race Big Six. We're going to do some works racing." I was like, "All right, what does that mean?" He's like, "Well, Big Six is an hour and a half. Works is 2 hours." And I was like, 2 hours? I was like, "Is there like an intermission? Do we race an hour one day or 30 minutes the next day?" He's like, no, it's straight shot, 1 hour, hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I haven't done any training all year. This is my first time on the bike. He was like, okay, well, let's get it started. So basically, I finished up that test session with him, and I was able to do 45 minutes, consistently. He was like, all right, we're racing next week. And I was like, holy shit. Like, I'm going to race, a 450. I haven't raced a 450 yet. I was 135 at the time. He's like, we're just going to stick you on Colton's bike. There's no expectations. We'll just go out there and see how you do. I ended up pulling the whole shot. I led the race for about 45 minutes, and then they red flagged the race. And I was like, man, this is actually kind of easy. No. That next 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. My hands were completely blistered. I couldn't hang on. So once they red flagged the race, they were like, all right, I think we're done. And I was like, okay, sweet. So did I win? They're like, no, we've got to come back tomorrow and redo it. It was a red flag. And I was like, no way. So they ended up doing a 45-minute moto the next day. And with our tanks, we can go about 55 minutes to an hour on a tank.
Yep.
And I didn't have a full spec tank to run the 55 minutes or 45 minutes. And the lap times are around 13 minutes for a lap. And right around the 42-minute mark, they didn't throw out the checkered flag yet. And I was like, crap, I need to pull in. So I ended up having to pull in, pit for gas. It wasn't the full-on dump can, so I had to pull in.
Oh, wow.
I was running second, ended up getting fourth that moto. And then after that, I started clicking off wins. And that transition was so much fun, just being able to ride my dirt bike, go trail riding. Because when we would go trail riding, it was still part of my training program, like learning how to ride over rocks, trees, everything.
Yeah, it's very different. That's for sure. I've rode out there, not in Yucca Valley, but near. Like I've gone out and rode with Kiefer a few times, and it's definitely, when you don't grow up doing that, it's a whole different world.
Yeah.
What year did you first race Works?
2017.
Okay.
Yeah, 2017.
All right, so that was the year my boy Gary Sutherland won the title. Did you bang some bars with Gary?
Yes.
Okay.
Gary,
that tone makes me sound like there might be more there.
No, me and Gary are good friends,
Okay.
but 2017, we only did a handful of Works races, but it was between him and Taylor going for the title.
Yeah.
Taylor ended up getting hurt, missed a few races. So I think it was Glen Helen 2017. Me and Taylor were going back and forth for about an hour and 20 minutes. And then finally I dropped the ball. I couldn't hang on anymore. And here comes Gary. Oh my goodness. I've never heard of Suzuki. I think he was riding Suzuki that year.
Yes, he
or
was.
KTM.
No, he was Suzuki.
I've never seen a Suzuki go that fast through some of this stuff. I was like, who is this guy? He full on elbowed me going through these rocks. And I was like, you can have it. So I ended up fourth that moto, and I was like, Gary Sutherland. And then from that day forward, he rides hard.
Yes, he does. He lives life that way. Zach, he lives life. I mean, he's a little tamed down now. He's married, got, second kid, but yeah, he's still pretty hardcore. I've got his #1 plate actually hanging behind me in the studio here. I don't know.
You got a jersey too.
Do I have Gary? I do have one of Gary's jerseys. Yeah, but I had the #1 plate though. That's cool.
Yeah.
Zach, I want to jump back. You were talking about, like we were talking about kids and training facilities.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the SMX Next, which was Futures? Now, I mean, man, can you imagine if you'd had that opportunity?
Yeah. I mean, that's a huge benefit for these kids because they get to, again, get that experience, that light exposure, the fans, a real race condition course.
Yeah.
To actually put themselves in a position where they end up turning pro. It's not a complete, 180 where Minneo's, all these other places, that's what I grew up doing. I did 2011. We ended up doing the Monster Cup. That was pretty cool. That was my first experience under the lights. So yeah, I think that this is really good for these kids coming up because what we saw from Cole Davies last year to what we see from him this year is a night and day difference, right? Last year, he looked a little slow, not 100% sharp. His fitness was off. And then this year, it's like, man, where did this kid, come from? Because last year he was battling Drew, and I was like, man, I think Drew's going to, have him all day next year. And that has not been the case.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's a really good program, and it's good for these amateurs and younger kids to have that opportunity. Zach got a couple more things for you. Zach Bella tonight, brought to you by Guts Racing. So I asked some questions on Instagram, and I got a few for you. First, before I get into these, when people hear Zach Bell, what's the first thing people think of?
You're asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you. What's the one thing that everybody thinks of?
Dallas 2013.
Yeah, so
I was there, Zach.
We were all there. We're all Texas guys. We're a couple hours east of Dallas. So let's start with the first question. Was from Josh in 37. Were you dead in Dallas in 13?
I was not dead. So there's a story behind this.
Okay, let's get it. Yeah.
So 2012, it was my second pro national. It was literally, I think we had the white flag lap at Unadilla.
Yep.
I ended up going down after the sky shot. I don't know what happened, but I ended up getting cross-shredded at the bottom of the hill. I completely ragdolled. I got up, tried to run off the track, and I ended up doing some pretty, damage to my back. Ended up breaking 3 vertebrae. I was coughing up some blood. Pretty big concussion. And from that day, one of the doctors said was like, dude, you just have to lay there. Like, from that big of a crash, you just have to lay there and just let us check in on you. So when I was flying through the air, I was like, man, this is going to be a pretty big impact. So whenever I landed, nothing hurt. Like, there was no pain, nothing. And I was like, am I alive? Like, and I could see the guy running over to me, asking if I was okay. And I was like, man, I'm good. I don't know if I'm good, but I feel fine.
Right.
So he's like, yeah, just lay there for a little bit. They threw out that flag. So all the guys quit jumping. Ended up dislocating my wrist that night. And I don't know if you see, whenever I stand up, I kind of hobble a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
My foot came halfway out of the boot.
Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't notice that.
Yeah. So my foot was halfway out of the boot. So whenever I stepped back down, I was like, uh-oh, is my ankle broken? But no, my foot was just halfway out of the boot. It slid back in, and they put my wrist back in place, and I did the full concussion test, passed that, and then went back and raced the LCQ. Yeah,
and you were leading that heat race, and I think that's the other questions were really like, were you unconscious? Because I think a lot of people believe that you probably were, and the doctors, the track guys, I've reread some of those stories, and they're like, yeah, no, he was awake. And you passed the protocol, so
it sticks out to me so much because I not only was I there, but I was sitting in the end zone, and y'all were coming straight at us, and we were literally like the height that y'all were at the top of the apex of the jump was about eye level where I was sitting, and so like I just remember you were leading the heat race, you scrubbed that jump, and then like next thing you know, you're just like there's no bike, like dude, man, it was one of the I've seen a lot of Supercross race, a lot of racing. It's in person probably the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was definitely an experience. Again, had one lap to go, and I would have won my first heat race. As a pro, and just some things just don't work out. It's probably for a reason. Happy where I'm at now, but yeah, definitely had a lot of history back then for sure.
So just as a really kind of like off the wall question, but you went through all the programs, the concussion protocol and all that kind of stuff. And there's been rumors out there that there's been pro riders who purposely test either inebriated or test to where if they get their bell rung a little bit, they'll still be able to pass the protocol. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't even know.
So back then in 2012, I don't think we were smart enough to know to do that.
Gotcha.
Because my score was around 97 or 95 to 96.
Mm-hmm.
And I passed it in 97. So I was a little bit smarter after that crash, to be honest.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
knocked some sense into you.
Yeah, it took the positives away from it.
Yeah,
And
I have been hearing that some of these guys are doing that.
So Jamie, like I was going to tell a dark side here, what they're doing. Supposedly, some people will like take a few shots, get a little inebriated, and then take their test because it's an online thing. Like there's no doctor watching you or anything like that. You take the test that way.
Never heard of that.
And then that way, if you get your bell rung, then your score has to be a percentage close to what your original score was. So if you score like a 70 or a 67 or whatever, then it's easier to get that when you're afterwards. Like they're purposely like laying up. You know what I'm talking about?
Interesting. What that crash also did was kind of make 60 helmets a little infamous. I mean, I really feel like that set them on a trajectory of how good those helmets were. And I mean, I wear those now, you know, and that was that's really when we first started hearing about the technology. At least that's when I did. That came in those helmets. So you're very lucky. But yeah, it's an unfortunate thing to be the main thing people will remember. But like, and I don't think it sucks because when you made the transition to off road, people or off road doesn't get the respect or the coverage it deserves. And you guys are so gnarly, and you still had a pretty successful career, but maybe a lot of people don't know about it. So I'm really glad you came on here tonight and talked about it a little bit. I appreciate that.
Yeah, there's a lot of things people don't know, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of behind the scenes that we really just can't discuss. And that's our sport. We can't be very vocal, and that's what I wish we could. Kind of speak our language a little bit. For an example, 2014 Anaheim 1, I was sitting on the starting gate, and the card goes sideways. As soon as I look at the gate, I don't know if it was the flames blowing off the top or what, but my goggles completely fogged up. I didn't know when the gate was dropping, so I just had to basically take off whenever I heard everybody take off. And later that night, someone interviewed me, and I said, hey, you know, my goggles were fogged up, not sure what happened, and ended up getting a fine for saying that. And I was like, can I not be honest? Right? Like,
wow.
No,
like,
it
want me
sucks.
to... Yeah, there's some things that we can't say, and like Formula One, dude, these guys cuss and all of this stuff, and they're super transparent about their pay and what they do and eat and stuff. And it's like, man, we had to be so secretive about everything. No one could know what we were doing on a bicycle in the gym.
Yeah, I think Supercross, motocross is a little more open than that now, but it's still a lot that way. We were just having that discussion because Eli was just on the phone, and I had texted Eli beforehand, kind of saying, hey, I know we can't talk about what is happening in 26 yet, but I kind of gave him a suggestion of how I wanted to discuss it without discussing it. And he's like, look, man, I just can't talk about it. So you can ask those questions, but I can't answer them. So they're like, and we were just saying, like TJ here was just saying, like in F1, you'll hear halfway through the season that, hey, they're changing teams and they're talking about it. But yeah, we're just, this sport is just not that way. And it makes it difficult, right? It makes for a lot of, like, we're kind of guessing of what's going on or hinting at what's going on. And if we knew the true story, things that are happening on the track might actually make more sense, but unfortunately, it's not that way. Anything else from you two?
I did have one question, and this is kind of a hypothetical. There's been a lot of guys who are really fast as you are, maybe some faster or whatever, that have won heat races. Nobody remembers them. Would you have rather won that heat race and your career is where it is, or have that crash and then everybody remembers you forever?
So that crash happened for a reason. I've got to just remember that everything happened for a reason. I don't think I would, rather take a $5,000 paycheck, win one heat race, and then just go off the face of the earth. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I've had a pretty successful career with my amateur, my pro, my off-road career, where, I've done things where a lot of people couldn't do. And to just say I won a heat race and then get scratched off, that's not the way I would want to go out.
Yeah.
Understood. All right. Last question for you. You mentioned the off-road career kind of came to an end. The team folded. I think you have a wrist injury. It was part of the reason you can't really ride that much anymore or perform at that level. What about some local races or one-off? Do you have anything coming up, or would you like to do, day in the dirt or something like that?
Yes and no. So I just had another surgery on my wrist about 3 months ago. And the original injury was pretty bad. So I had a distal head radius fracture, an ulna fracture. I ruptured all the ligaments from my wrist to my hand, broke my scaphoid, my scapholunate, and it was just a simple fall. I was just out training by myself with a buddy out there watching, and I've gone through this section 100 times. And there's a rock that just popped up through the sand, and my tire hit it on the other side, and it just sent me over the bars. I've had 4 surgeries on this wrist, and the last one was a 4-corner fusion. Remove the scaphoid, and then do a bone graft. And I've got no motion in my wrist now. It's I'm not even able to do a push up, any of this stuff. So my last year of racing and off road, I would literally have to tape this thing as tight as I could, to where I couldn't feel my fingers, and just hope for the best. And racing the 2 hours, hour and a half, I couldn't take it. I had a few wins in the bag, had a few bike failures, but I would still like to do some local stuff.
Yeah.
I really do enjoy going out, because I did ride with Kiefer and Aiden back in 2021. I miss doing that stuff, but I don't miss the physical aspect of the stress leading up to the race, the supplements that I had to take, the training regimen that I had to stick on.
Yep.
So
yeah,
I would
some fun days.
Yeah, I miss the trail riding, going to Ritchie Canyon. I had a pretty cool track right behind my house in Calamasa, where a lot of people just come out there and ride with me. I miss that stuff, but I don't miss the day-to-day grind.
No, I get it. But man, as long as you can have a little bit of fun and take some time away from HVAC. But I was scrolling through your Instagram, and you mentioned this. Yeah, you're married. You got a daughter, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, that right there, that's the life, man. You're successful in life, man. Yeah,
I mean, the transition from racing to working our normal life to raising a daughter, to multiple surgeries after racing, it's I didn't find it was worth it to try to keep competing at 100% to keep chasing that paycheck, right? Like I was making good money racing off road, making more than I was doing pro motocross, and I had to look at what I was able to accomplish doing off road, make a career out of that. Now, what can I do to make a new career, right?
For sure. You got one.
I was just say, does anybody at your HVAC job do they realize like what your kind of the career you had? That they were like essentially famous at some point, or is it just you're just another HVAC guy trying to do the same job?
There was a few people that recognized me whenever I came into our first meeting. His name was Troy, and he's like, "Man, are you Zach Bell?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "No way." He's like, "I have a house in Costa Rica. I want you to come there. I've got dirt bikes here and there."
Nice.
And then his buddy ended up finding out. And then there's been a few people where I go out to their house and they know who I am. And it's like, "Oh, I thought," because it sends out a message saying, "Zach Bell's coming to your house."
Yeah.
And you're like, "Is this the real Zach Bell?"
That's awesome,
Please
dude.
stand up.
Yeah, that's cool. I think Rod Bell's doing HVAC, so it's
Yeah,
it's cool, man. Well, Zach, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you, Taylor, for getting me in contact with Zach. But it's really cool to catch up with you and get to know you a little bit because, we weren't doing this back in the day when you were professional supercross, motocross rider, and we enjoy having a lot of off-road guys. We just had Caleb Russell on a few weeks ago, and we'll have Stu and all those guys. So really, thank you for doing this for us.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for having me on. Shout out to Taylor, my boy, Jake. Hopefully he gets a girlfriend soon.
That sounds like an inside joke, but good luck, guys. Zach, thank you so much, buddy. See ya.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
That's Zach Bell tonight, brought to you by Guts Racing. That was cool, man. Yeah, I like that flashback. It is unfortunate that he's kind of known for that. And I did go back through Racer X, like I mentioned, and they were around through his whole career, right? So there's quite a few older stories. And one of them, towards the end, and we were talking to him, and he has over 20 broken bones and 15 surgeries. And that was back in like 14, right? And he just talked about having more. That's a lot. His body, unfortunately, took a beating.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right.
I mean, it's
Let's knock out these segments.
I will say I enjoyed the fact that he's like, yeah, $5,000.
Yeah,
but really,
for sure.
that crash probably made him more than $5,000 if you think about it, because people remember.
I mean, how would he really made money off of that though?
Sure, like his name, recognition
well,
is everything. I
He
mean,
doesn't get a check for that.
he got the ride. He got people to know who he is. I mean, there's
I don't
so
know
many
that he
guys.
made any money off that, but
Yeah,
people,
But so many people have won heat races. It's like,
Yeah.
and then it turns into a nothing burger afterwards. I'm not saying his would have, but I mean,
Right.
his career kind of, went south because of injuries. I mean, at least
but people still remember him for that one
that
thing,
one
if nothing
thing,
else. Yeah,
exactly.
sure. Okay, grill your ass off. Bring the heat.
I mean, do you remember J-Law for flipping a car more than his championship, but he didn't make money off of that?
I actually remember him more for being a dick to Dungey, and then how'd that work out for you?
Yeah.
Because they were both at, was it One Industries they were both at? I think, there was a
Dude,
gear
he
break,
was-
and then Dungey left because like they were both, he wasn't going to stay. Was it One?
J-Law was like the most 2008 thing that like could have possibly happened.
I don't know. Yeah,
You're looking at me funny.
I'm
Like,
trying to. I'm not thinking. No, I'm thinking. Like,
okay, I think it was One Industries, but they were both one. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Grill your ass off. Bring the heat. Scotty, because I always ask TJ this. Do you love to grill and cook?
I do.
Why are you laughing, TJ?
I can make an omelet.
Huh?
I was just thinking about my omelet.
Oh, yeah, TJ.
I promise you I can cook something better than he can.
Well, you're not in our group text because you don't like to be, but he made an omelet on the rig that was like,
What's the name of the group text?
Shun Scotty.
Okay, how was that my fault?
Because you had the wrong
you
phone.
won't answer your group text, so we had to make our own.
I don't want to
work.
be in that group text, to be
I
honest.
know.
with you.
We can tell.
Yeah, but he made an omelet with hot dogs in it.
I mean,
A doglet?
No,
And you know what would have actually made that okay?
grill
Grill your ass off. All right. Grill Your Ass Off is a veteran-owned seasoning company that
Did
manufactures
what?
some of the best flavors this great country has ever known. Every Grill Your Ass Off item is labeled with a military or first responder theme and is made in Texas with pride. Each product sold proudly supports a true nonprofit organization or event. Whether you're grilling up some chicken breast, baking pork chops, which I did last night, or boiling shrimp, Grill Your Ass Off has seasoning for the occasion. Visit grillyourassoff.com and use that promo code DARKSIDEMX3, all caps, to save 20%. You can get habanero barbecue sauce, ranch dip. They have beef jerky. What?
Nothing.
Okay.
Anyways,
Donkey Dong pickles, and much, much more. Grill Your Ass Off. Do either of you have a Bring the Heat?
well,
I think it might be hot dogs and omelets.
well,
Yeah,
that's
it's just-
okay.
I mean,
that's
okay, I've used like
up.
ham lunch
No,
meat.
hold
Let him speak.
No,
I made it.
Why are you always interrupting him?
Because I want him to know what
okay.
happened.
Oh,
ahead,
okay.
go ahead, Scotty.
No, explain the story.
Well, now I got to unmute him. Yeah, you're unmuted. Oh, you're both muted. Duh. I went
All right,
opposite.
see ya.
So, anyways, I was on the rig and I was making an
Okay,
omelet,
the fair on the rig's fair.
and I was like, "Well, I like omelets and I like hot
I like
dogs.
omelets.
I like hot dogs."
Biscuits and mustard on.
So I
it.
just cut the hot dogs into little bitty
I mean-
squares, and I sauteed them in butter, and then
Yeah.
I
Should
made
have
an
sauteed
omelet.
them with some Grill Your Ass Off.
Well, I didn't have any on
That's on you.
the rig. It was
Yeah,
up the heel.
I mean, I guess that's fair.
it was,
I mean,
but
My thoughts, like if you go to the store,
You can
I'm
use
sure you
like
go to
a-
the grocery store before
Yes.
you go to the rig.
yes,
When you pick up your eggs and thinking I'm probably going to have an omelet, pick up some sausage.
but have you ever tried a hot dog omelet?
No,
Okay,
because
then
I would put sausage or
you'll
bacon
never
in it.
know. Like I wanted to
I could
know.
see. I've used like ham lunch meat when I haven't had anything else.
That's fine.
I did that
Like
too.
pepper-
Better
peppers
than
and
a
onions.
Hot dog. Hot dogs
Oh,
are gross.
It's a beef hot dog.
Or like what would it have been acceptable if it had been like a smoked sausage? like,
Yes.
chopped up?
Well,
sausage.
that's what hot dog is.
No, it is
hot
not.
dog is a sausage.
hot dog. Now, if you had used a Nathan's hot dog, I might be like,
Oh, but
Hot
I'm
dog
sure it
is
was
sausage.
like.
Nathan's are okay.
Hot dog.
I'm
is
sure it
sausage.
wasn't even like bar S. I'm sure it was like bar Z.
It's whatever the red package. I think it's bar S.
Bar
Bar
S,
S.
yes.
Bar S is not.
I don't know, man.
great.
It's just you're just weird. You eat some unfavorable things.
Yeah. Well, I have.
Is that your what?
Well,
what's the-
no, you go
I don't
ahead
know
with
who's
yours.
Bring the Heat is what anymore.
Go ahead with your
Oh, is
Bring
this
the
one?
Heat.
Oh,
He's not upset now because he realizes that it wasn't a terrible idea, and he's been
Like, it's not the worst thing you can eat, but I don't know why you wouldn't prepare.
I would rather eat that than one of his Dollar General steaks or whatever it is.
I buy half a cow at a time. I don't buy.
I don't know I don't know where that came from. But
that came from Chase because he's an
funny.
idiot.
It's
It
funny.
sounds like something he would do.
Yeah,
I don't think Dollar General sells meat.
I don't either. But
You
if
would
they
find
did,
it.
that's probably where you'd go.
They got a good deal on it.
They definitely have they probably have bar ass hot dogs.
Do you have a grill your ass off?
I want to go. No, not yet.
All right. Well, anyways.
I kind of do. You want me to go ahead?
Oh,
Yes,
my
go
God.
ahead. Oh my God.
It's how butthurt y'all get when I don't answer back the text messages. Like,
The only thing I get butthurt about with that.
I told you I was going to be here, and I'm here.
Okay, but in our group, in our show,
I'm
group
sorry I didn't have a suggestion for a top 5.
in our show group text, I will say, "Hey, do any of you guys have a suggestion for this? Is there this?" And then you don't answer. I'm like, well, what's
not all the time I do, but sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But to say that because I didn't give a suggestion for a top 5, that it disproves that I said yes, I'll be there, and then y'all blow the phone up, freaking out an hour before the show. Oh, I guess Sky's not coming. Like, dude, I'm 5 minutes away. I'll be
But
there.
we don't know that because you don't ever say.
No,
like,
you do
don't
know that because you said, "Are you going to be here this week?" And I said yes.
That was like 3 days ago.
Okay, it didn't change.
How do I know that?
Did I say that I wasn't going to come now? Did I change it? I would have let you know if I wasn't going to make it.
I don't know.
Have I always left you know if I'm going to be sick or something like that? It's bring the heat, right?
Yeah.
Can I not bring the heat?
No, you're doing
Okay.
great.
It's like I would have let you know. I've always been like 100% communicative if I'm not going to make it. I told you a month ago that I was going to be gone on vacation, that
week.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, next week. I've always been reliable on
Sir,
that.
can you
just
pull
because,
forward, please?
Yeah, pull forward. All right.
I
Anyways,
don't know if you're going to communicate.
it's just
because
y'all get so crazy about the text message thing. Like, dude, I don't check my phone that much.
Well, that's on you. That's my bring the heat. Is you don't check your phone. What's yours, TJ?
Well, mine's changed a couple of times, but right now I'm actually a little upset about people who don't reply to messages, whether it's emails, whether it's whatever. JT Cooley sent, because we were talking with Doc in another group message with Cooley, and he sent a screenshot and had like 70-something unanswered messages. Now, I understand some of it's in group messages, but you just click on it.
You would hate my notifications.
Oh my God! Like
I click on it, and even if I don't read them, then back out just to clear the number.
Just to clear the number, or like my wife, no lie.
Oh, you would hate this.
She had
That's my
20,000
notifications.
emails. And to the point, I was like, I can't handle it. I downloaded her email account to my phone and went through and got rid of all the junk mails. And I'm like, there's like 600 left that you need to go through that I can't take care of.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, just
why? Who cares?
I care.
Why?
And I care that Kathy's not answering her emails.
Like, you just
or just delete them.
Like, just
so much spam, dude.
But it takes you how long? Like, is your life so busy that you can't open a message?
If I need something from my email, I know that it's coming, and I just search for that.
But what about your
I have
text
one
messages?
DM right now.
I clear out. I clear out my
and it's
text
driving
messages.
me insane. Like
I don't have it. I don't have a bunch of. I clear out my text messages.
All messages, like just look at them. Just like, oh my God,
I do.
Would you just look at it?
But y'all do a lot of those texting and stuff during the day when I'm not at work. I respond.
You're the manager. You can do what you want. You spend.
I'm not just sitting there with my thumb up my ass making burgers.
I'm working, and then I look at my
no,
phone.
you literally said that I sit around all day at my new job. Like it's not that hard.
Pull forward.
It takes like he just sits in the window. Can you please?
Yeah, that's all I do all day.
Hey. When I pull up to the window and you don't hand me my drink, that's when you're looking at that's your time to look at your phone.
You don't think I'm doing something else?
No,
you're not handing the customer the drink.
You would fold in 5 seconds at that job.
I worked at Dairy Queen.
No, I would check my phone and be like, the guy would.
Then
come
I would
to the
write
window.
you up, and you'd happen 3 days in a row, and you'd be fired.
The guy would come to the window, and I would say, "Hey, sir, hope you're having a good day. I'll be right with you. I'll hand you the drink. We'll be right with you, sir." Pull my phone up. Cool, man.
Dude, you would crash out so hard in the middle of a rush.
I'd crush it.
No, you wouldn't.
I've done stuff like that where it's busy, like when at the grocery store, and that's when it's the easiest, man, because you're just clicking shit off. Let's go.
I just
grocery
saying,
store's
just
different.
All you got to do is just look at your messages and reply, and quit being a douchebag.
Okay.
You have one?
I do.
All right,
Yeah,
go
yeah,
ahead.
Yeah, you
Let's
ready?
hear what yours.
Mine is I found a mountain bike trail when I was out of town last week, and I got lost because the trail system wasn't marked very well, and it seemed like everywhere I went there was another branch, and at some point I was like 15 miles away from my truck, and I couldn't figure out how to get back. So mine is, if you have a mountain bike trail system, please have a freaking map somewhere that shows where you're supposed to go. Have it marked well, at the very least.
Do you not like track your rides? Like when I go trail riding, I run like on X just to see where I went.
had my map going, like my.
So you could just turn around and follow it. Like your tracking system. So
I was just my map, like a regular like Google Maps. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you don't have a breadcrumb map.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess because I ride off road so much, we run.
I probably should get on X Maps, but
yeah.
Well, this particular trail system just had splits everywhere, and like it didn't seem like it was ever going back to the original place. And then it started raining, and it was just like, look, man, I feel like you should have markers, and there should like.
Is it like a city run kind of thing?
I don't know. It was in Flower Mound, Texas.
What I mean is it like a public place people ride mountain bikes?
Yes.
Oh yeah, they should. Absolutely.
And there would be like Trail 5 or Loop 5.
They're marked.
Just the entrance, but then like you would go down that trail and it would split in a couple places, and you're like, well, I don't know which way I'm supposed to go.
That's terrible.
I have no idea where I'm supposed to go.
That's terrible.
And I literally ended up in a neighborhood and found the highway and rode around back to my truck.
Strava will breadcrumb where you ride.
Honestly, I probably could have looked at Strava and see if I could find, but
yes.
Just mark your trails better.
No, I think you're right.
That's all. It's not really that big of a deal. I was irritated in the moment.
Yeah.
Because I was out of town and I took my bike with me, but I forgot to take like a water bottle for your bike. So I just took a Dasani water bottle.
Yeah.
And at some point it fell out of the thing because it doesn't fit right.
Oh, yeah.
So I'd been out there for 2 hours. It started raining. I was a little dehydrated. And then I finally did pull my map up and I'm like, oh my God, I am so far from my truck. So, yeah, I was not stoked. Okay, cool. That was fun.
Yeah.
I know some people don't like it when we argue, but I don't want to tell you guys, man. It's the most fun part.
I think it's the best part.
Yeah. It's T-Boat USA top 5. If you are a pit bike enthusiast and love shredding around on a CRF 110, KLX 110, or whatever you have, you need TBoatUSA.com bookmarked on your web browser. T-Boat USA is a pit bike supply site that has everything you need for your pit bike. You can find handlebar kits featuring BBR and Pro Taper bars, D&M shocks, and even full bikes from YCF, Pitster, Pro, and Piranha. T-Boat USA has it all. They even have stuff for those junky what? Chinese bikes. Thank you. That are so difficult to find. You'll find pit bikes, engines, and parts at tboatusa.com. This is a TJ suggestion since Scotty doesn't answer his texts. T-Boat USA Top 5 this week is your top 5 books.
Yeah.
And I am going to cheat.
No, you can't.
Breaking the rules.
And it's not cool, dude.
I don't want to tell you, man. TJ? Actually, let's go. Scotty's to be the shortest list.
Hold on. I want Scotty to weigh in on this. This is T-Boat USA what, Scotty? Unmute me.
Top 5.
Top 5.
Yep.
Okay.
So if you have 6 things,
410.
then you can have.
Oh, you don't want me to do this because I did top 10 Aussie songs. So I do honorable mentions.
Yeah.
There's sometimes we add stuff in.
There's rules in the world. There's rules.
You
You
don't follow
don't
half
have
of
any
them.
because you don't read, you said, basically, right?
Number 1, the Bible.
It's not even on my list. Jesus.
That's a terrible book. Like, it's so extremely unbelievable. No, somebody got mad at me the other day when I made you weren't here, when I made the joke. Well, they didn't get mad. They didn't think it was funny. It was not myths. What did we do? Top 5 Bigfoot. What was the
Conspiracies?
No, urban legends.
Urban legends. And I
picked the Bible.
said Jesus or something like that. I said I'm joking, but the dude still said it wasn't funny, and I'm sorry, man, if I offend you.
I don't care if you offend. I'm a Christian, and that's funny. I can't believe I did not have the Bible on my list, but you're right. It's not like the greatest book. I mean, but it is a great book.
I mean, honestly, I can't read Hebrew.
I'm trying to.
After that, it's not.
I'll be lucky to think of 5 books that I've read.
I purposely didn't put any nonfiction. Because I love a lot of nonfiction books, but the way that I looked at it is books that I would read again and again and again. And there's a few like Customado's book.
What were we just talking about? There's a couple.
I guess I watch movies
I've read like 8 times.
I would much rather watch a movie.
But I
movies suck compared to books.
Like Mike Tyson's book, Customado's book.
Yeah.
Musk book, all those, like I would read those again, and they're nonfiction.
Sure.
But I purposely went with fiction books.
All right, let's get your top 5.
Oh, you want me to go first?
Yep. Or did you have some more?
I had a couple more.
Oh.
Where the Red Fern Grows. I remember reading that when I was little.
Okay.
That was a good one. I liked this series called the Hangman's Curse when I was little.
Okay.
And then that's about it.
All right. Cool.
What was the Hangman's Curse? I think
It was like actually like a.
It's like a mystery.
Yeah, but it was like a Christian-based mystery thing.
I think I read that. It was just one book, right?
I think there was a couple of them.
Okay, I think I just read one of them. All right, I want to go from 5 to 1.
Okay.
Would be The Dark Tower Wasteland. I absolutely love that book. I don't know why. That book resonates with me a lot. I don't
Trash
like
Can Man?
No.
No, wait.
The Wasteland is with the train.
Yeah, but maybe it's book 2 where they go through.
They don't meet the Trash Can Man.
It's not Trash Can Man, but there's a guy that lights fires and stuff. Man.
You're thinking of The Stand.
No, okay, in Tull, right? In book 2, before they get on Blaine, or is that book 3? That's book 3.
No, book 2 is when they get on
When
Blaine.
they're in the town of Tull or Lull.
Yeah. No,
there's a guy there that.
I never put those two together if it's Trash Can Man.
I always thought it's similar because there's a lot. Those books all intertwine.
Go back. Now I got to read it again.
Those books all intertwine.
Yes, right.
Almost everything Stephen King did ties into the Dark Tower somehow. But anyway, I'm sorry I interrupted.
No. I could talk about books. We could have a whole podcast about books.
Yeah.
And
Can I leave?
We're about to go 2 hours.
No, this is like y'all talking about
work
feet ball.
Do your job.
This is like y'all talking about feet ball.
This kicks off this weekend. Let's go, Niner Nation.
Wait, but do you think that football
Cowboys tomorrow night starts it off?
That Cowboys thing I sent to the group message was pretty funny, and I'm not even a football guy.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah. Did you see? Oh, you didn't see it.
I hope the Cowboys lose just like the Longhorns did. That was so great.
This lady told his told her wife. I mean, she told her husband that she's looking for a VHS.
Oh, I've seen that. I know what you're talking about.
It's so funny.
Okay.
The Shining was number 4. I don't know. I just read that book over and over as a kid. And still love it. And then one of my favorites as a kid was Bridge to Terabithia.
Haven't read it, but heard of it.
Oh, it's so good. And actually, if anybody is not into reading, the movie did a really good job of staying really true to the book. A little different. There's a book that most people wouldn't have heard of called Welcome to Night Vale. It's a podcast that the creators also wrote a book, and it's really good. And it's strange but real fun. And then my favorite book of all times, and I don't know why I could sit around and read it over and over again, is The Long Walk, which is a book that was written by Bachman, which was Stephen King's pen name, right?
I think it's like pseudonym or something like that.
Yeah, whatever.
It's Richard Bachman,
Richard Bachman, and it's called Long Walk. It's kind of a short story, but it's not short. It's just a short book, I guess you'd call it, more than a short story. Yeah. And man, I just loved that book when I was a kid, and you said it was written a lot later than what I thought. I thought it was like early in his early writing before.
Well, I think it was, but like I think he did 4 or 5 King novels, and then he did some Bachman stuff, and I don't remember specifically why, but he wrote a bunch of things as Bachman.
And that The Long Walk is
like Shawshank, which wasn't called Shawshank in the book form, but that's a Bachman story. I'm almost positive.
But
it's a Stephen King wrote it,
right? And it's in the collection the collection of the 4 books. There's 4
the
books
Bachman
in that
book. So I think Thinner might be in that. I don't remember, but anyway, yep. That's your 5?
That's 5.
Okay, I'm gonna go the opposite direction. I'm gonna start with 1. Dark Tower series, obviously, or also is in my group, but my favorite of those books is Wizard and Glass. That's my number 1.
I'm in the middle
favorite
of it right
book
now.
of all time. Patrick Rothfuss, he has a series called King Killer Chronicles. The first book, Name of the Wind, is going to be my number 2. A.R. Wise has a series called Among the Dead or Among the Masses.
Scotty, I looked over at Scotty, and he was just glassed over.
Dude, I'm so out on this top 5.
Among the Dead and Dying is my favorite of those groups. I actually have a tattoo on my leg based off that. It's like a zombie apocalypse kind of thing.
Cool.
That I really enjoy. Star Wars, the Thrawn trilogy, but the first book, Heir to the Empire, introduces what becomes Luke Skywalker's wife, Mara Jade. All that stuff's what they call it, non-canon anymore. But before the Disney bought it all at. I love that
Oh,
book.
was it canon before?
Yes, before
That's cool.
Disney bought everything and changed it all.
Do you know what
and
that means? If something's canon or non-canon?
What, Candid?
Canon.
No.
No.
Means it's
means
considered actually part of the genre of the series.
So if I wrote a book right now and the author was like, "Hey, of the Dark Tower," that series you're talking about.
You wrote a book about the Dark Tower series,
like afterwards or something like that, and the author was like, "Hey, I would accept that that's part of the story."
Cool.
Yeah,
then it's canon.
it's canon.
But Heir to the Empire introduced two of my favorite characters in Star Wars, Mara Jade and Admiral Thrawn.
Somebody said Goosebumps. That was I remember
Yeah,
that as
I was a
kid.
little old for that.
I was as a kid. I loved that
Yeah.
stuff.
So then I have 5. Man, this is so tough. I had the Stand and Talisman.
Hardy Boys.
I'll go Talisman. What?
Someone said the Hardy Boys. Nancy Drew.
I think Goosebumps.
No, I think the Hardy Boys were wrestlers. Were the Hardy Boys?
I never.
No,
read it.
they were like they were like detectives.
Yeah,
Were they?
my sister read Goosebumps.
It was like the dude version of Nancy
Yeah,
Drew.
but I thought that was something else because like the Hardy Boys.
Boxcar Kids, those were good.
I think I remember that.
Yeah.
And damn it,
I went to school at a Christian school. That's everything I had was like stuff like that.
I'm doing my honorable mentions. Howard Stern's Private Parts. Love that book. Big John Steinbeck fan. Kind of classic literature or whatever. Grapes of Wrath. Motley Crue's The Dirt. Yeah, that's my list.
There was a guy who wrote. All of his books are real good at the beginning, and then as he wrote more and more books, they became like commercial and meh.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember what his name was. It was real popular in the early 2000s.
Don't know. Dean Koontz?
Yeah, Dean Koontz.
Koontz was Stephen King-ish.
Yeah, I didn't realize it until this list how much I.
What
really
was
like
the?
King.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine. You just butt over people.
Yeah, my bad.
You didn't realize what? I bet people are really bored right now. I'm sorry. We're going to get to our ETS pick ones and our FXR picks, and we're going to call it a night, guys. We're getting there.
All right.
Is that it?
That's it. Because I just heard
Well,
his
both
feelings.
of you were about to say something, and now we're
I
moving
just
on.
heard
All right,
his
cool.
feelings.
ETS Race Fuels. ETS Racing Fuels was forged.
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
I remember some of the books. There was
He's Googling books.
There was a list of there was like a series of books for like kids. It was Matt Christopher books. They were sports books, and they had one about a kid that found a dirt bike, and I can't remember what it's called. But that was I read that book over and over and over again.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool.
We'll accept it. Now
be quiet.
Can we go? All right, back to ETS Racing Fuels was forged from the heat of competition nearly 30 years ago, developing purpose-engineered fuel for high-profile teams in highly competitive series. We have been the power behind many podium wins ever since. Teams using ETS Racing Fuels have won more than 50 national and world champion titles, and we continue to forge new alliances and partnerships across motorsports. ETSRacingFuels.com to find your local distributor and get the best fuel on the market. Supporting teams like Factory KTM, Factory HRC Honda, Rockstar Husqvarna, and many more. If you guys want better pick or top fives, then use that contact form on MotoXpod.com and give us some suggestions, although I really like the book one. Okay. Are you guys, do we want to do this? Or you guys, I don't feel like anybody's
I'm waiting on you.
All right.
Jeez, just do your job.
The ETS pick ones is, would you rather have your dream job and barely be able to pay your bills, or a sucky job with no money problems? I know TJ's answer already.
I know your answer already.
What's my answer?
I don't know. I don't know if hanging out with teenagers at a fast food restaurant is your dream job or not. But you don't make any money.
What would you rather have, Scotty?
The one where I have money.
Oh, and I know that's TJ's.
Well, okay.
TJ doesn't care about anything but money.
No,
I don't know what my dream job would be. I mean, I guess doing this would be my dream job.
Please pull forward, sir.
That's not my dream job, dude. It's a good job.
If you could do...
I make more money than you do.
You don't know what I make.
I make more money than you do. You told me what you make.
You don't know.
Yeah. Even with what you even could pull from the show, I still make more than you do.
So
please pull forward, sir.
If you could
that's all you got.
If you could do really this full time and go to races as media and all that kind of stuff,
and just barely pay my bills,
but you're just you're struggling to make ends meet.
Anybody listening that's not familiar, doing media and just barely paying your bills.
Yeah.
Me.
I don't know, man. I think I'm happier with what I think I'm happier doing this part time.
For me, I would rather have a job that I don't care about, I even hate, but then whenever I get off work, I can go do whatever I want. And I can afford to do it.
Yeah, I can't argue with that for the most part.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at now. Like
your deal with the
we can afford. Like I was doing stuff that was technically supposed to be like a better job than what I have now, but it was sales and it wasn't going well, and I wasn't making the money that I should have been making, and like I couldn't go on a trip, and like now I can, like, we're going on a vacation, like I can afford to do stuff, like we're like we can buy nicer food, we're going out to eat, I don't have to really like check my bank account every time I drop something. Like it's
this guy across from us makes more money than probably all of us combined.
He can't,
but he still eats shit food.
He can't fix.
Honestly, I haven't really.
Oh yeah, I know, right?
I haven't really. To be honest with you, I haven't really cared to.
Really?
That's sad.
Because
he hates going to the races and you hate riding.
No, I would love to ride, but I know, like, I don't know what's wrong with that bike. If I could just go fix it, I would. But it's like I don't know, and I'm not spending $1,000 for a KTM dealership to try to figure it out.
I doubt they charge you $1,000 for like an $800 bike to fix.
It's not worth. It's worth more than that.
Go buy a bike then.
I don't have that kind of money.
Just go buy another one of those. Then you have spare parts.
I don't have $6,000 lying around.
There's no chance one of those will cost $6,000. You probably buy one for $3,000.
That bike's worth like $4,000.
I'm undecided on this.
You can't be. You have to choose.
I guess a sucky job with no money problems.
Yeah, we know. That's kind of what you're doing.
No, because I have a sucky job and I have money problems. I'm making a lot less than I used to make.
Oh, so wait, so you didn't pick the dream job?
No,
you kind of did that though. You had the chance to make more money, but you picked your dream job of doing the moto media stuff. You've kind of already done this.
He's got a point. I mean, this is
like you could if the show didn't exist, you would have kept the HVAC job.
Maybe. I hated that job too. I don't know.
I don't think you can do a job that you hate. I don't think you have it in you.
No, and I hated that job.
And
I don't hate what I do. It's just a job. I know what I have to do. I just go in and do it.
My current job.
If you paid me to like swim laps in horse crap, you know what I'm talking about, I would do it. Like if it paid good money, I don't care. I just want to be able to.
I mean,
that's
a pretty good description of the oil field industry. But
no, my job's not bad. I get paid for the neck up.
All right, FXR picks for Charlotte, Concord.
Why is it all of a sudden Concord now? I thought it was always Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Everybody's saying Concord now. I don't know.
Oh, God.
FXR is designed by racers for racers with industry-leading fit, finish, and performance. Progression is the name of the game with every new piece created. At FXR, we push our brand to the next level to provide you with the best products possible. Used by Malcolm Stewart, Muck-Off FXR Club MX Yamaha, Mike Brown, Brock Tickle, Chris Kiefer, Benny Bloss, and many more. FXR has core motor roots, so visit fxrracing.com to see their complete line of gear. FXR picks for Charlotte. We're going to go 450s and 250s, okay?
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Somebody made a comment in here.
Okay.
HCR made a comment about Tim Tams.
Okay.
Yeah, you never get on the chat, dude. We talk about Tim Tams all the time.
Would you be quiet for just one second? The gas stations the ones that have like the big Texas Longhorn stuff sell Tim Tams.
It's not the same.
Lots of people. You can get.
It's not. You can go to World Market in Tyler and get them. It's not the same thing.
Get them on.
There is Hershey's has a trademark on a certain.
That's not Tim Tam. That you're talking.
Dude, can you let me talk? There's a trademark embargo thing that they have, like a patent on a certain type of chocolate that other people can't use selling inside the United States. So the Tim Tams that they would normally make in Australia, they have to change the recipe and make them different for the ones that they sell in the U.S.
I'm gonna do some research.
Is that not something?
That's true. Yeah, I'm actually in a group chat with Moose, who always sends me mine.
The Tim Tams from Australia are way different than the Tim Tams from World Market. I've gotten them at the World Market. I was like, oh, Tim Tams, cool. Got them, not the same.
Not the same. Nope. Okay. My 450.
Sorry.
Sad. I thought I could buy Tim Tams.
He was about to cry. I was trying to.
You said my 450 picks for Concord are Sexton, Jet, Kenny.
Oh, I like those picks.
250, Joe.
We got to pick 250 too.
Deegan, I just said that a minute ago. Deegan and Handmaker. Okay, those are my picks.
I was thinking about Tim Tams.
TJ, what are your 450 picks?
Jet, Hunter, Sexton, and
250?
Deegan, Joe, and man, I don't know. It's so up in the air after that.
We don't have all night, TJ.
Well, go ahead, y'all. You do yours.
Oh boy, Scotty, 450s.
I'm going to go Eli, Jet, Chase.
Okay.
And in 250s, I'm going to go Shimoda, Deegan, Kitchen.
Okay, TJ, we
I
need
have to
one
add
more.
Kitch. I guess Kitch. But who else is going to be? I would like to change that to
Marchbanks.
No, what's his name's teammate? Deegs' teammate.
Davies.
Davies.
Okay, Davies. Alrighty. MotoXpod.com and hit that contact form. Send us your picks.
Subscribe on the show.
Donnie Berger said Jet, Eli, RJ. Not a bad pick.
Oh, yeah, RJ's a good pick.
I like RJ as a pick. That's a good pick. Okay. Wow. This show felt like it fell apart at the end a little bit. But
since y'all started talking about books.
Books are awesome. I want to thank our presenting sponsors, Racetech and Yamaha Motor USA. Hit that racetech.com website. Sign up for the seminars. Find your local service center. Go to Yamaha Motor USA. See what all they have to offer. The new 450s are, I think there's some reviews and some tests out on that thing. Kiefer did some stuff, so check them out. Also want to thank Guts Racing, X-Brand, FXR, ETS, T-Boat USA, Grill Your Ass Off. I want to thank Zach Bell. That's cool. And Eli Tomac.
Yeah, but anybody catch that, like, when his career was at its top during all that happening, he was racing against Eli.
Yep.
Who is,
I did. I want to thank our guests. I want to thank our listeners for sticking with us if they're still around. Again, hit our YouTube up. Subscribe to the MotoXpod YouTube. Watch the videos over and over and over. Help us get those numbers up. Listen to the shows. We appreciate everybody. Support the sponsors. I think we're back next week. If Chase can make it, we're going to get that figured out. But watch for us next week. Thanks, guys.
You turn the sound off.
Hit the button, but it didn't play. Here we go. Clearly, I didn't hit the button.